Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello!
Hello!
Welcome.
Welcome to a Sunday evening of joy and happiness.
What, an infant
And-
monkey tail stream that's live?
I know.
Yes,
I tell you what, this weekend
we have been doomed.
been a bit of a shit show, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
Wow.
we are here now.
We are.
We're
Yeah,
here
I don't know
now.
what's changed.
It's still a shit show. It's just that we're live.
I have beer.
I have tea.
I have beer. I have
beer.
rum. Look
Oh.
at that.
Everyone's drinking alcohol.
I know.
Yep.
Except for
An energy drink.
Except
I
for the
mean,
two
I'm drinking
grown-ups.
healthy.
I would have got one of them too, but yeah.
Anyway, everybody, welcome along to the bit of a hype train that's going on this evening, because we are, even though the official 12-month anniversary is not week, for some reason we must have set up something earlier because everybody seems to have 12 months on the subscription. So woo to everybody that's doing that for us today.
Or choo choo.
Yeah, choo choo. This evening, we will be running Those Dark Places, which is written by a member of our group, Mr. Jonathan Hicks, who is now been dragged in, kicking and screaming to be a permanent member of the group, which is how most people join this group in the first place.
He may not realise this yet.
He will.
But,
He does.
um,
He does. So we are tonight. We are joined by me and Arthur, who's that at the side of me. Whichever way I stick my finger, it'll be the wrong way. So everybody wave it to me and Arthur. Woo! We are joined by the wonderful Lloyd, who is doing production and everything, and grey hairs as we speak, because it is stressful doing production. It's a thankless task.
it is a thankless task.
It is.
I know,
And then
it's
we
saturated.
have
So thank you.
Yes, thank you. Then we have the one and only, and least, not last or anything like that, is Commander Strain. Woo, woo, woo!
Who is very grey-haired.
Yeah.
Has been doing
Another
production,
member of
obviously.
our group who came along for a little bit of a game and got dragged into running games and everything. And he's
Doing a
awesome.
sterling job.
Yes. Oh, then there's me and him.
Me and it.
Whatever his name is.
So I'll get on. Yeah, we'll introduce Mark in a minute. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of the calendar. There is a couple of changes that have probably happened over the last 24 hours.
For some reason.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to wing those at the moment because obviously Carbon was... what's the date today, everybody? Just thought I'd do a quick check on that. 29th. Okay.
Nice, we heard. Oh,
So
good.
the Carbon episode, luckily, we can just shift along, can't we?
It's on Friday. It's next
Yeah.
week.
So, but you'd got a 2-week one and then a gap, and then you're going into your new game. So if it comes
No.
Oh gosh,
No.
what?
We'll be. Twilight's not happening till November.
Oh shoot.
Yes.
So what's happening in September? Oh no.
Oh, Carbon!
Okay, that's all right then.
We've got things to finish off. I can't just
Okay,
leave
so-
it.
Heart attack averted.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all right then, because I've got it down starting in October for the new game.
No,
Okay,
no.
Carbon's running for a bit longer, so we're all good to go on that one. Angela quickly goes and changes calendars. Eek. So so we got that running for next week is Carbon. We have got Croy's offline and D&D game, which is running on Monday, and we have the RPG club, which is Agents of Concordia, which we're having quite a lot of fun playing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is fun. So I'm hoping that at some point, Narte will bring Agents of Concordia online so you can see. It is fun, and we do a lot of role playing in that. Strain listened into it the other night. I think he regretted it, but it was like it.
So someone was having way too much fun, and that was the referee GM. He was.
Oh
having
yeah.
It
Too
was.
much
It
fun.
was. It was really good fun. So that is a game. It's a new game, and I don't think many people have seen it. So whether or not we go online or we record it and put it up or whatever, but it is a good game that we're enjoying. Obviously, then we're going to go into Carbon, and then I do believe on 4th of September. Everybody, you need to put your sad face.
A sad face.
Sad face. 4th of September. Our current D&D is coming to. I'm not sure I'm going to cope with that.
It's going to be a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay, you could just play Ariel in your next game,
yeah. I'm just going to bring it back.
whatever
so-
system it happens to be.
No, because we don't even know what's happening because basically
She might
we don't know
die.
what's going to happen. So yeah, and then September is just a joyous jumble of new things and things happening. We have Mark running a Call of Cthulhu beginners game. So if anybody wants to join Call of Cthulhu offline, just for a 2-session
2 session.
Maybe 2 sessions.
2-session game of Call of Cthulhu. If
Maybe
you
one.
haven't played Call of Cthulhu and you want to give it a bit of a go, you don't have to be a newbie, or you just want to have a little bit of a play around with it. Give Mark, some old pirate, a bit of a nudge. He has got spaces on it. I can't play it because I've already played it, that game. But yeah, so everybody give Mark a nudge for that one if you want to have a bit of a dabble in the Call of Cthulhu world, which is not strange at all. Then on the 10th, we have a new game, and it is Field Net. And it's a game that has been written for yourselves by the amazing John Hicks. So we will be playing that. So it will be a game that is streamed on the 10th of September that has not been seen anywhere ever. Dun dun dun! So that's the 10th of September. Then we've got Mutants and Masterminds again, which is another one that's been bumped forward now. And then we have Croy's Amazing Cthulhu Dark Part 3 on the 17th. Then we have our anniversary stream. And then Carbon Mutant. And then John Hicks is running Those Dark Places for a couple of weeks. Then for October, then Josh is doing his pirate game. The singing will be back. Oh
No.
yes,
No.
the singing will be back. I am going to speak to Josh about that, ensure that it again.
And there's an extra place, isn't there?
Why, is the singing that bad?
But the singing will be back. So yeah, so that's what's happening. And then we sort of like fall into there's Warhammer starting. There's Twilight 2000. It is 2000. Twilight 2000 is starting. We've got a D&D The Lurkers back. So there's lots of things happening. And I've even scheduled in a Christmas party. Nobody knows about yet. Hello, little girl. So, but what we do, what happens in January is a big thing that the admin team have to go into, because once Warhammer's finished and with all the Friday games are finished, we need some new games for January. We need a new game for every other Friday, and we will need a new game for every other Saturday. Croy, what are you going to be running? Could you just let me know?
More D&D.
So no, he's talked
Oh.
about the Expanse, and then he talked about. What else did he talk about?
When's Stargate happening?
Oh,
Well,
I think
that's
Infinity is
Never
setting
going
that
to
up.
happen.
Yeah. So
It's
there's-
like a myth. It's
You know what? That Stargate game, I'm not going to say anything about it until someone says we're ready to go, and then I'll go right and I'll rejiggle the schedule. But until then, it's just a thing in the dream world right now.
January then, is it?
January.
Shocking.
There's always space. We can always jiggle things. So basically, hang on to your hats, everybody. The next few months are a jumble of excitement and fun.
You've really sold that to me.
And
I'm
also
quite
RPGs.
excited.
I thought I sold it quite well. But there is a couple of gaps that need filling, so I will be nagging people. So anyone that's a GM,
Prepare to be nagged.
I will be there, nagging you. So without further ado,
Save us. Get more GMs in. Please, save us.
without further ado, I'm going to hand over to the wonderful, the amazing, the debonair love of my life. Oh, that just seems weird coming from me, Mark, doesn't it? Sorry about that, everybody. I just made it really weird.
You
Some
did.
old pirate. Made everybody uncomfortable now.
Yeah. Yeah, me included. Okay. So, we are playing Those Dark Places this evening. This is the third part of a game that started as a one-shot
Hmm.
and seems to have taken on a life of its own, which is kind of appropriate. So we are playing the La Jolla Station report this evening, part 3. And in the previous 2 episodes, we found out that all of the player characters here, they are crew members of a space station, a research space station called La Jolla. And it's owned and operated by a biotech firm called Genetech. And a few days back, one of the researchers for Genetech, he was mysteriously fired. Nobody really knew why. And he kind of kept himself to himself after that for a few days until his body was discovered in his stateroom, and he appeared to be undergoing some kind of transformation in quite a grisly fashion, which also meant that he has managed to infect the rest of the station with something odd, which is now in the process, it appears, of converting the rest of the crew into, as one of the characters described it last time, goo. So yeah, there's been a number of these grisly transformations occurring all over the station, and our hapless crew members are now trying to deal with what is going on. It appears that Dr. Barber was working on some kind of project, which a personal project, which was to do with genetically modifying some human blood cells, some human white blood cells, that allowed them to become sentient, and they have apparently decided that they would like to turn everybody else into their own kind. Dr. Barber's body is now residing in the med lab where Dr. Kimura has been examining it, and the rest of the crew currently dissolving into various different forms around the space station. At the moment, one of the crew members who was a test subject for a project that was being currently worked on in the station, a Corporal Pope. He is with the assistant executive officer, Susan Wilkes, in the chief's office, and it appears that he's an amputee. He has only one arm, right arm. But it appears that he may be growing his old arm back. And so that's where we're going to start. So, Susan, you're in McNary's office. It's kind of dark in here, as it always is, dimly lit. Pope is standing in front of you. He's currently clutching a piece of steel pipe in his right hand that he brought along when you told him to arm himself. And he seems to have taken the arm yourself literally, as it appears that his left shoulder is moving. The skin appears to be moving, or the flesh underneath it does.
Weird flex, but okay.
He steps towards you.
I step away.
Okay, and you kind of feel you're suddenly aware of somebody grabbing a hold of your arm and kind of pushing you behind him, and McNary kind of stands there in front of you. "Stay back, Corporal," he says. Pope kind of looks at you both, looks down at the piece of metal that has fallen from his arm, from his shoulder on the floor there, before kind of backing away slowly, and then he sprints from the office.
Okay, this
Are you all right, Susan?
I'm fine, but I think the situation is slightly gaining legs.
So close yet so far.
Yeah, I know there's something playing of that this evening. I can tell.
As long as she doesn't want to get hands on.
You have the blueprints on McNary's computer
Right.
that you were wanting.
I just look at it and say, we need to find a way. This is not a good situation. You've kept this quiet now. We need to get a message out, and we need to find a way that we can take this station out. I mean, fine. I know the doctor wants to make some research, but he's got a limited amount of time to get as much research as he can.
Wait, what do you mean take it out? You mean
Blow it up.
what about the crew?
The crew. Did you not just see what happened there? It's too late. It must be in the air. It must be in the water. It must be everywhere. It's too late now. We're doomed.
What if Dr. Kimura comes up with an answer? What if
He's got a time limit. We've got that supply ship coming in, and we've got a time limit on the fact before we all turn into weird, gooey, slimy, tentacled things. And then that means this weird... Look, I don't do science, I do admin. I push papers and play with a calculator. But so far, people are turning into goo, and there's things in the air vents, stuff like that. And it's intelligent, I think, what the doctor was saying. It does things pending, which means it could take over and then infect the world or the universe or everything. So we can either reverse it, which is all that is on the doctor's shoulders, that he has got to come up with a life-saving reversal geo thingy. Or
Is the doctor aware of this?
he's got very broad shoulders?
if that doesn't happen, we need to blow them. We need to make a plan to blow this station and everything that's in it before we all turn into this other thing.
He knocks back the remainder of his whiskey. You're right, of course. You're right. Let's get to MedLab. See if Dr. Kimura has found anything out.
We only left him like 5 minutes ago.
No, it was out. I swear it was longer than that. You're probably right. Let's think about this for a bit longer.
Like,
Yeah, let's take our time.
You said he was on a time limit, god damn it.
Yeah, I know. So we need to look at a plan on how to blow up the space station. Are we on a space station?
You are on a space station. A very big one.
There must be a blow up button somewhere. You can, if we turn the flangulator.
Let me stop you right there.
Thank you.
I haven't got anything to say. I just wanted you to stop. Maybe somebody with some technical expertise could make their way down to the fusion reactor.
I've got just the person.
Probably, well,
Zach. Zach's been very helpful. I'm sure Zach knows which buttons to press.
Yeah.
And then I can
there might be a
send-
bit more to it than.
And Gideon.
Yeah.
Gideon's really helpful. He'll know all the safety protocols that we're supposed to keep in place to make sure that things don't go wrong. So he just has to reverse them.
Susan, when was the last time you looked at the personnel report?
Well, they're the two that I think that probably aren't infected and have the most information currently, without causing mass panic in the station. Have you
Well,
got a better idea then?
No, but we need to. We still have some of the staff down in MedLab. We ought to head back that way. check in with Dr. Kimura.
I'll get Zach and Gideon. Meet us at MedLab.
Okay. So, in MedLab, Dr. Kimura, you're currently staring into your console, looking at the data that's kind of coming through from all the analysis that you've been making on the remains of Lewis Barber.
Yes.
And the intercom buzzes.
I'll ignore it for now. I want to test a sample in a vacuum. So I'm going to get a sample of this organism into a situation where I can test vacuum. So whether we've got some sort of testing facility that allows me to test.
I mean, this sounds like the kind of thing that you would have in a medical lab, of course.
Absolutely, yes. Definitely.
So now you know, because you've been observing, that part of Barber's body is broken away. The very, very small patch of it, about the size of a thumbnail.
Yep.
And has currently been trying, or has been kind of trying to move along the side of the isolation chamber from where it's kept. It's made you think that perhaps it's actually trying to find a way out.
Let's help it along, shall we?
Let's help it along.
Let's help it along.
Sounds like a fantastic idea.
And let's test it in a vacuum to see if it'll survive in a vacuum.
Okay. Right then. So, you managed to kind of extract a little bit of this. Are you taking that bit?
Yes, that bit if I can.
Okay. You managed to drag it out using the special manipulator arms and everything that's built into the chamber. And it kind of lifts up, the mechanical arm lifts up this little patch of fleshy tissue. It seems to stop moving. It's not doing anything at this point. Kind of is dragged across into a little receptacle, and the lid is kind of snapped tightly shut on top of it before kind of being moved through a little airlock system in the cylinder, allowing you to extract the jar.
And then we shall test a vacuum on it. We shall suck out the air. Let's see if it dies or lives.
Okay. You place it into a separate little isolation chamber, smaller one. And you kind of open the lid. It just sits there like it's inert. Before you try sucking the air. Is it just air that you're doing? Yeah.
Yeah. Making it a vacuum.
Yeah.
Yes. I want to see if it'll survive in a vacuum.
Okay. And while this is going on, your intercom is buzzing.
Yes. What is it? What is it?
There's a kind of a frantic voice on the end of it. It's not one that you recognise instantly because he seems to be under a lot of stress and pressure. But eventually realize it's Nurse Munn from the who's over in the actual medical bay.
Oh, right.
And he said, Dr. Kimura, the med bay is over capacity. Some of the patients we're treating are beginning to exhibit some disturbing symptoms. We're out of isolation tubes. What should we do? Some of the staff are suggesting barricading the door, but I don't know what to do.
Seal them in.
Seal them in?
Yes, into MedLab.
What about the staff?
Well, get the staff out first, unless they've been exposed, and then seal them in as well.
Kimura, are you sure?
If you find yourself struggling, then please contact our security chief. He may be able to assist you. I am in the process of testing to see whether we can kill this thing. Yes, contact the security officer.
Okay.
He'll surely help you quickly.
Do you just cut him off dead?
And I'll just cut him off dead and go back to.
Okay, and you start removing turning the inside of the chamber into a vacuum. Gideon, you've been wandering the corridors, responding to various calls at this point. you've begun noticing these kind of strange, fleshy sheets, a sickly brown colour, like a fleshy matter tissue, draped across some of the narrow corridors of the station. And they seem to kind of billow slightly, as if they're being subjected to kind of a gentle breeze. And the bile kind of rises up in the back of your throat when you notice that some of these things that are moving are not near any air vents. The calls to security seem to have calmed down, but you've noticed several people have left their quarters and they are roaming the corridors. And you're so damn tired. Feel that if you shut your eyes right now, fall asleep where you were standing. What are you doing? And shutting your eyes and going to sleep
He
is not an
doesn't really
option.
know. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I'd hope that we could have like locked people
It
into
is.
their room, but
I
someone's
think
been slacking off.
I think what you want to actually lock people in.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I thought we were trying to get people to quarantine.
You were trying to, and I think people were doing it until they started exhibiting symptoms of something or other.
They were all informed to go to their
They were.
quarters. So
They
then when
were.
they started getting they all started running out when they're going like extra arm and
Well, they're kind of feeling unwell, and they're all starting to. They're just panicking.
Yeah.
You know, these
well,
people.
the
they're
unwell ones are
afraid.
probably trying to make their way to the sick bay.
Yeah. How does Gideon Bahari deal with this?
I'm tempted. Like, I would be tempted to just like to lock the doors at least, and then, or at least try and get my deputies to try and like at least sort of shepherd these people somehow, like to somewhere where they can like be at least out of the way and not really like a danger to themselves and others.
Okay. Now you were with one of your security guards that you'd been visited the stateroom previous, and he is with you. You've noticed that you're starting to get less and less response from the rest of your team as the day is progressing. I'm not going to say you're not sure why.
I'm more disappointed than anything else.
Yeah, I would be too. Shame. If
Yeah.
they've still got legs, they should still be walking, right?
Yeah, what are they getting paid for? They're
Yeah.
not paid to mutate.
So, this guy is with you. You can see that he's on the verge of a proper full-on meltdown.
Like a breakdown.
Himself. In fact, you're probably not feeling too far off it yourself.
No.
With everything that's going on, and just more and more of these brown sheets that seem to be kind of draped around these corridors for some reason.
Yeah, I think we should try and make our way to security and see if we can try and like lock down some of these bits, just at least contain things.
Okay.
And we'll probably be. I'll say this to him as well. Just be like, I think we'll be a bit safer. We head back to security and try and do like a lockdown or something to try and cut down whatever this is, and we'll probably also be safer there.
Okay. So you start making your way back to the elevator shaft or whatever, where to take you up to your security, and that's when you get a call from MedLab, and a very panicky Nurse Munn, who he kind of informs you of the situation, saying that the medical bay is completely overrun. Some strange symptoms, some strange things are happening to some of the people in there. We've run out of isolation tubes. Dr. Kimura suggested that we contact you. You may be able to help.
Did he provide any more detail? Yeah, I think we're gonna have to start just getting people back to their rooms and just sort of like just isolating them there, or nearby whatever whole rooms we can find.
Okay. Sure, no worries. You make your way back. Are you're heading up to security to do that? Is that the plan?
Yeah, because we need to start like if these people are just like if they're able to just unlock themselves and wander the halls.
Yeah.
Then when they're supposed to be quarantining, then like they just can't be trusted.
I know.
So we'll have to do it for them.
People, eh? People in quarantine.
What a bunch
and
of bastards.
stuff. Yeah.
Let them
Yeah.
Jansen, you're currently staring into your console in engineering. You know, you need to do something. Probably not sure what. It's at that moment, kind of hear the door opening behind you.
I'll turn around, see who it is.
Okay, you're quite relieved to see it's Abdul. And it's quite clear to you that he's very relieved to see you. And he kind of makes his way across the room towards you. He's got a bit of a sweat on. He's obviously been running. He's kind of a bit out of breath.
What's going on, Abdul?
I was looking for any other crew.
Why? Everyone's been told to isolate.
I've not seen anyone else on this level. Just the stuff on the walls and he breaks down into these kind of great racking sobs. I saw something moving.
Yeah.
It was big, but I couldn't quite make out what it was in the dark.
Wait, what?
We gotta get out of here. We gotta get off the station. Something terrible is happening.
I know that. How big? Where? What's going on?
It was in the corridor. Some of these things on the wall, they'd covered the lighting. I couldn't quite make it out. It was dark.
Oh no.
It was real big though.
Like, out here? Or...
Look, let's just go. We gotta go. We need to get out of here. We need to tell security or something that something's down here.
Oh, I was gonna flush the vents. I don't know if that'll work. It might be too big. Oh no. Yeah, he's just like trying to run it over in his brain, just like, oh no. Right, so it's on these lower levels.
Yeah.
Something.
There is, yeah.
And I would have to go lower to get into the air vents.
Yeah.
So nah. Yeah, so I'm gonna send back to the console, see what I can do from here to flush it out.
Okay. Now you know that you'd shut all of the vents off from the main central air shaft that was running down the middle of the station, the one that you'd climbed into in the previous session. And you were looking for a way to kind of vent that central air vent, weren't you?
Yeah. The idea was to go open a external hatch.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't see I can't think of any reason why you wouldn't be able to do that.
I do now, though.
Okay. Okay. So
yeah. I'd imagine that he doesn't know. Like, he knows a lot of the corridors and vents and everything around here, but he won't know enough to be able to not, like, so something he can't see because it's too dark, and he's already freaking out, like, getting close to the goop. So I think it would be like just sidle out the room and just put on back to the lights.
Okay. Yeah, and you're quite surprised as you kind of exit the engineering room. How dark it's gotten in those corridors. It's like some of these sheets have kind of moved. You can see the kind of spread all across the walls and ceiling. They're a lot bigger than when you went in, and they've covered up some of the lighting. It's not like deliberately kind of gone and covered all the lighting. It's just because it's kind of growing along the corridor.
Yeah.
And you're kind of looking down the corridor, and you can see, you see what Abdul was talking about. It's kind of a darkness down in the corridor. You don't see any movement, but that doesn't mean that there's nothing there.
Oh no. Now in engineering, would there be like obviously I'm guessing there'd be like more torches or...
Oh yeah, you'll certainly be able to find a torch or some kind of you used one when you went down to the vent, so
yeah, I want more like torches or even glow sticks. I don't think that'll be a thing. Just basically
why not?
I want to grab something that has light and lob it down the corridor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So it's literally
It's-
just grabbing something, just going, and
Yeah.
chucking it.
So maybe it is a glow stick, and you kind of snap the thing and you throw it down this corridor, this darkened corridor, and you can see more of this fleshy stuff. It's kind of all over the walls, but then there's a patch that you see with kind of it's black, particularly when you don't know if it's the light from this glow stick, but it's kind of a black color, and you can make out on part of it, it's like almost like a dome that's kind of growing out of the wall. And on kind of the bit that's facing you, you can make out these kind of like these kind of sickly yellow hexagonal holes, like a honeycomb, if you like, along one side of it. And out of each one of those, you can see there's this tiny hair that's kind of poking out of each of these holes, maybe 4 or 5 centimeters out, and they are twitching, each one individually of its own accord, just kind of twitching.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, no. Is that the way we need to go?
Okay.
No.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, we definitely need to go. Was this the only one you saw? It's turn tab on there.
No, it was what I saw. It was actually moving.
Wait, what? This is different? Oh no. Where did you see it? Like,
It
we're
points
gonna have
back past that thing.
Okay.
I came that way. That wasn't there. That wasn't there when I came. That wasn't there. He's pointing at this dome thing that's kind of growing out the wall.
Are you sure?
Oh, it wasn't there.
Ew. Did you touch anything?
And no. Are you still wearing hazmat?
Yes. I'm not
Right.
taking it off.
Okay.
I didn't even watch the smush off the hand.
Cool.
Yeah, so it was like I was just like, right, let's go around.
Okay.
And try and find a way up.
Right. Susan. You wanted to do something.
I wanted to blow up the station,
do.
but
Make a roll. No, I'm kidding.
well, how's that?
That'd have ended the game pretty quick, wouldn't it? Anyway. So, yeah, you're heading to MedLab, where you know Dr. Kimura and a bunch of the other researchers are.
Right.
But also you were going to contact Zach and Gideon, were you not?
Yeah, we were all going to head down because he wanted to go to the med lab, but I just want to make a plan for how to blow things up. So
And being an expert in blowing things up.
So I call Zach and Gideon on the comms and say, meet us at med lab. We need to have a chat ASAP.
You both get this message coming through. Just Jansen, it's just as you're making your way along the corridor away from this growth that's on the wall. I mean, I didn't say how. It's probably about the growth. It was probably about 4 feet across as well, spread up the wall.
Damn.
Really big. And Gideon, you've got this message come through too from Assistant SEO Wilt.
I think I would.
That's just the reaction that people usually give Wilt.
Yeah, I think I would respond. It's like, yeah, I need to talk to you too. I found out some stuff, and it's minging and gross. And where we're going?
MedLab.
Medlab.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't want to go to MedLab.
Dr. Kimura, you are going to you've activated the pump to create the vacuum in this thing, and you see that's when you actually kind of see first bit of movement from this bit of tissue, and it does not like it one bit, and you kind of watch as this kind of tissue kind of slowly starts to die in the vacuum.
Okay, cool.
Ooh.
I shall wait until it's died, until vacuum is there, and then we should observe it for about 5 minutes.
Yes, and I'm going to test it by opening and touching it with my bare hand.
Oh, no, that would be too simple. I'll get someone else to touch it.
Oh, very good, very
Even
good.
better.
That's perfect. Right, so everybody arrives at MedLab. Yeah, it's been a bit of a harrowing trek through the station for Gideon and Zach.
Yeah, I'll leave my deputy at the security station, so at least I know someone's manning it.
Okay,
For as
yeah,
long as they're
and he
manning.
agrees to stay there. And as you leave, as that door shuts, you hear him, all the locks kind of
My boy.
activating on the door as you leave. But you make your way back up to MedLab, and so does through this weird kind of landscape. Seems to be being built or made throughout this station. The walls are covered with these strange sheets. Sometimes it's kind of like a brown sheet, and then a sheet, and sometimes you've got like a ridge of stuff that looks as hard as bone, but it's kind of black. It's not white. And then another point, you're kind of passing part of a corridor where you can see it's a bit like this stuff that Barber was kind of transformed into. It's kind of like a pinkish grey with purple kind of mottling. And there are various kind of organic tubes that are kind of stretching away down the corridors and up into the ceiling and through air vents and things. And it's kind of slightly transparent. You see fluid kind of being passed around through some of these tubes. But you make it to Med Lab unmolested.
It would be interesting to get like samples. I have no idea how. When we get there, I'll probably suggest it more. That it'll be interesting to get samples from these different parts, like the part with the black bones. Like, is that just a coloration thing, or is it dyed? Because if it's dyed, then that might give us an idea of something affecting it.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the thing. You've got no real idea.
No, it's just hypothesizing.
Which is So as you kind of arriving MedLab, see Susan and McNary have just arrived. Zach and Abdul running up the corridor, trying to get into MedLab. You arrive at the door and you can see it's kind of it's been sealed, and you kind of knock on the glass. Somebody kind of comes along and opens it and lets you in, for quickly closing the door again, ceiling. And McNary looks at you, Gideon. How many crew are left?
I didn't get enough time to actually check before coming here, but I would guess by the amount of biomass in like the corridors, probably not that many.
And he looks at you, Susan.
Can we pull the numbers up on the computers here? Assuming they're all networked.
No, the only problem we can get. Well, actually, the doctor would probably know this, that you could call up the ID chip of everyone, but that doesn't necessarily mean because they're like cards you hang around your neck.
Yeah,
so
we'll know that none of them have been destroyed.
Yeah. Assistant ACO Wilkes has a plan. Nary.
Oh yes, we need to know whether the doctor's found a way of either reversing this, killing it off, or what, because otherwise we're going to have to blow the station.
And I think everybody in the room is quite surprised at how matter-of-fact you were about the idea of killing everyone on board.
I think she's already made that decision like a long time ago. Like before we even started.
I just turned around and say, I don't know why you're looking so shocked. We have some kind of alien self-made genetic thing going on in here. Did you not see the corridors and the gooey people and things growing everywhere? It's out of control. and it's taking over and killing many people anyway. So that if we don't hurry up, we're all going to be that gooey mess out there, and we're all going to die. And then the next people that come onto the ship are going to find this gooey mess, and they're going to be infected, and they're going to take it back. So, does anybody else not see the situation we're in right now?
I mean, I think we've already put on a quarantine beacon, so we don't have to worry about the other ship unless they just like ignore all warnings and carry on regardless.
But the trouble is, the Roebuck won't arrive in system.
Yeah, but at least
he won't receive any messages until it arrives in system. Everyone's in hypersleep.
Yeah, but hopefully by then it'll be like, oh, it's a quarantine. We should not dock.
Yes, that would be a good idea.
But I mean, we're having enough quarantine issues of here. Like, who knows?
They would
Maybe it'll be safer. Maybe it'll be safer to let them dock than just blow them up with us. Just to
Because
guarantee no one does something stupid.
Human nature would be, it's got a quarantine, but that nobody's answering the radios right now. Oh, we better dock and investigate.
I mean, we'd had a quarantine where everyone should remain in their quarters, and half dozen people have already been like out wandering around.
No, if the Roebuck comes out of hyperspace and it receives our quarantine, it's legally obliged to dock.
Until it's told by the main corporation to go and investigate.
Why would they do that?
You shouldn't
Because they
investigate a
want to get
quarantine.
their hands on this stuff. Because this station's worth money to them. Because they'll want
But
to
at least
work
it
out
buys
what's
us
going
time.
on.
It buys us time without shenanigans happening in the meantime from someone else trying to dock.
So anyway, we're gonna all be goo at this rate. Doctor in the room.
Yeah. Dr.
Whether
Kimura is conducting an experiment, or is just finished conducting an experiment.
Yeah.
Doctor, have you
4
finished
hour-
playing with the goo?
Sorry?
Have you finished playing with the goo?
Not yet, but it can be. Doesn't like vacuum. We can vent it into space.
Okay, Doctor,
Yes.
have you just took a little look out the door? Please just go to the door and just have a little look in the corridor. Step away from this microscope.
Microscope.
What do you want me to see?
Just go and have a look.
See, I can test this, and then we can
Doctor,
test people.
can you just go and look out the door?
I'll go and look out the door.
Okay.
This is when the tentacle arm grabs him and just pulls him out.
Oh no, that'd be terrible. I'd feel really bad if that happened.
Make an agility roll.
No.
No, we're not going to do that. So, yeah, Doctor, the door opens, and you kind of look out into the corridor, and you can make out there are some strangely organic that seem to be on the walls and the ceiling. Now, on this level, it doesn't seem to be quite as bad as what Gideon and Zach had experienced on the lower deck. But, yeah, there's definitely something. It doesn't look necessarily like stuff that's in the isolation tube. The stuff that was Lewis Barber.
That's fascinating. Is we got one person still in a hazmat suit, haven't we?
You currently have
I'm in one, I think.
Jansen and Susan are in hazmat suits.
Excuse me, you young Mr. Technician in the suit. That's different to what's in there. I need a sample of that.
No.
Could you go and get me one? I'll hand a sample dish.
No, why have I got to touch it?
Well, you don't need to touch it yourself. You can use tools. I need to analyze that to see if it is the same as that, whether it's some sort of
It's the same.
offshoot.
They're so minging goop and it's got breathing and it's gross.
I'll
Yes.
do it.
But it's different.
No, it's the same. It's disgusting. You used to be humans.
Just give it to me. I'll do it. Jesus.
I'll hand it to him.
Grabs it with his bare hands.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm just
no.
gonna take. Well, I'll have my security suit on, so I'll have gloves. But like, yeah, I'm just tired of this.
You are tired. You are very tired.
Yeah, I know.
Gideon.
In many ways,
Very, very tired.
metaphorically, physically, mentally, spiritually. It's been a
All
long
of the
day.
above.
But yeah, because like I've seen like the different places where we have different ones. I can get different samples from each with this little gizmo, hopefully,
Yeah.
because a bit more of a
so-
sample size than one.
Yeah, so what's it going to be? Like a little scalpel or something? You're going to go and Just
Yeah,
shave
like
a little bit
maybe
off.
like a little, like a little suction injector thing, or maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
Ew.
yeah.
Stick your finger in it and see what happens. Go on.
Yeah, so like the mottled bit, the like black bony bit, the
Yeah, you
dark
haven't
bit.
seen any of that. That black bony bit is not on this deck that you can see. This is just more of the little kind of patches of kind of a pinkish tissue.
with the
that you
mottle
can-
stuff. Yeah, that's what I was thinking,
yeah.
because I've seen the different types, so it'd be like it's worth just doing a
Like-
slightly longer trip to grab.
Yeah, sorry,
few
it's not. It's more of
variations.
that brown stuff. So yeah, because
Yeah.
we've already got the pinky that was barb.
Okay.
This is
Okay,
the
so
kind
yeah.
of the brownish kind of sheets that are
Yeah.
starting to.
So I'll
kind
take like a slightly longer walk and just take like the bits that I've seen that are different, like physically different. Because
Oh,
then you'll be
okay.
like, at least we can, like from the black bone bits to like the pink mottle bits. 'Cause
That's
then you just
gonna
like
be.
you can do a quick, but like it'll be a bit riskier. But like at least then you'll be like, here's 3 distinct looking things. Like, are they the same thing, or are they? Is like one of them dying or
Okay.
infected or whatever?
Yeah. So you make your way down. You have to go down a level if you want to
Yeah.
get some of the black kind of bone-like structure.
That's the one I'm more interested in because it's different to everything else we've seen so far.
Yeah. So you head down, and you've taken a little bit of the brown sheet. You head down. You get a little bit of the. You find some of this black, bone-like stuff, and it's very tough. As you're kind of trying to scrape some of it off, it's actually really difficult. And then as an alarm goes off, big, stinky alarm. Zach, you all hear this, by the way. This is all coming through. And Zach, you know what that is. You've heard this a few too many times over the last few weeks. It's an alarm saying that Lab 1, the security sensor has been triggered in Lab 1.
Is that where everyone else is at the moment?
No, that's MedLab. Lab 1 is where the biochip experiment
Oh,
was being carried out, the primary part of the research there.
Okay. So I'll just like that alarm's going off again. We've had it a few times, but it's the lab 1. But it might actually mean something this time. There might be there might be something in the vents.
And everybody
really?
looks round.
yeah.
When
Or
you
if there's
say that.
anyone who was recently associated with the experiment who may have gone rogue.
I didn't know how to like say this until the doctor was sure whether we could kill it or anything. But in the lower levels, there's some big things. And now the security is going up in lab 1. What was in lab 1?
Dr. Brennan is the kind of primary researcher on the biochip. He's like the head of the biochip project. She says the biochips are there.
Yeah, the cybernetic ones rather than the organic ones he was trying to develop.
Yes.
Oh, so this is a security alarm. Would somebody try and steal the chips? Could this not be? It might not be. It might not be the.
It's vital research, Brennan says, but they've not really chosen the best time.
Well, it's kind of the perfect time because we all kind of want to get rid of this goop.
How are you going to get off the station with them if you were going to steal them?
I mean, are y'all going to go in the corridor and go and look who it is?
A lot of people kind of look around at each other.
So
How far away is it from where I am?
Yeah, you're probably closer, but you'll need to go down a level.
But I need to drop off these samples. Okay, I'm just gonna get this. I'll go like just one thing at a time. Like, so I'm just gonna get this like black bone sample, and then I'm just gonna take it back,
Okay.
and then I'll head back to lab 1 like a separate trip because I don't want to endanger,
No,
like hold up this research because like this
That's
is the thing
fine.
that could help us find a
Yep.
like a safety thing.
Absolutely. So, the alarm is still triggering. by the time you get back up to MedLab, you tap on the window. Everybody looks across and sees you there. For some reason, they're a bit hesitant now to open the door.
I'm not.
Dr. Kimura isn't, however.
I'm in a hazmat suit. I don't.
So, does one of you open the door?
Yeah,
I'll open the door, yeah.
they're not reluctant. They just mean.
Yeah. So, Dr. Kimura steps forward. I don't know. You're looking at
Got some
everybody else.
samples?
Yes,
Yeah.
I got you a few samples. I've noticed different variations across the decks. So I went down a level to get us some more. Whether it tells us whether it's the same thing, whether it's changing across the decks, or whether, I don't know, this black bone nonsense, whether it's alive or dying, who knows.
Well, if you could turn off that alarm, I can get to analysing them. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Coming through!
You just get started. I'm gonna do the check out this lab nonsense.
Okay.
He's like just gonna sigh and just head back out again.
Yeah. Are you going alone?
Anyone want to come with?
Yeah, I'll go with him.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Cool.
That sounded like very evil, laugh.
I'm sure Zach will come along with us. Can we get some flamethrowers on the way?
Yeah, they keep flamethrowers all over the space station, in case, you need to put out and not fire.
I mean,
we could probably jury rig something on the way.
yeah.
On the way.
You just need a lighter and some aerosol.
What about fire extinguishers? Because they're cold. What would happen if we freeze it?
It's worth trying.
Ooh, yeah. That's a good point.
Doctor, have you tried freezing one? Quickly make one cold.
Well, I put it in a vacuum of space. It didn't like that. It's very cold in space.
It is.
If we happen to have any CO2 extinguishers, that'll potentially suffocate it and cold it at the same time.
Do we have those?
Yeah, why not?
Let's have
I mean,
those.
Let's have some of those.
Yeah.
If you can't have flame, let's have white powdery cold stuff. Second best.
Yeah, fucking love it. So yeah, sure. You've got yourself. You're armed with a fire extinguisher each.
Yes.
And you're wearing protective clothing. Right.
This is how we die. Tell no one.
Gideon,
Yeah.
don't you think it's about time you put on a hazmat suit?
I'll get a security helmet. I've got a security armor suit. It'll just have like a helmet that goes over the top,
Okay, can you just put
like
it
a
on?
riot
'Cause
helmet.
You
It's
could
fine.
not be
I probably would have it on
infected.
already.
To
everyone
be
else is
honest,
shooting it.
I think you've probably got a hazmat on. I have a sneaking suspicion that you probably put one on, like right at the start of this adventure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's like today feels like a biological hazard day. He's been in a hot
It does.
hazard suit the
You know
entire
what?
time.
Yeah. Every day is a biological hazard day.
I'm not paid enough to not be in a hazmat suit.
So, Zach, do you want to come with us because we might need some of your technical wizardry?
Why?
Switch the alarms off, and you said you had knowledge of this.
No.
This is how you get a TPK, by the way, guys.
Oh,
I,
okay.
no,
No kidding.
what knowledge? I don't know anything.
Okay,
saw
then I'm going to go with Gideon,
everything.
and you need to look at the blueprints of the ship and work out a way of how to blow this motherfucker.
Yeah. It's good if Jensen stays here with Dr. Leopard's Ate My Face. Because
So you
I
don't-
keep
if-
messing
if
with
it
the
all-
biohazard.
If it all goes wrong and we kill off the human race, it'll be on your shoulders that you didn't work out a blow-up plan.
Wait,
I
why
think
not
by that point we don't really care.
That is way above your pay grade.
Why? I don't want to kill people.
She's not much
It
of a
is-
pep talker.
It's either the goo kills us or we blow up the station and save the world, the universe.
I mean,
Look,
um,
I'm just giving you some instructions. I need you to have a look at a way that we could, if we need to, at the most extreme circumstances. Do it. Gideon, come on.
okay.
Yeah. At least Jensen can set up on a remote detonator so that Zach can just blow it whenever he feels tired enough.
When if it feels tight. Just before bedtime. Ow.
Oh shit, that's the wrong button. I thought that was my lamp.
Okay. So, the two of you enter the corridor, making your way down towards towards Lab 1, not Med Lab. I'm really confusing the things here. Lab 1. You take the lift down a couple of levels. Gideon, you've used them previously. You know they're still working at least. And you emerge onto the deck, the lab deck. You can make out beneath some of the kind of these brown sheets that are kind of lining the walls. Susan, you've probably seen these for the first time. And I think you ought to make a pressure because
Which one? The pressure bonus.
pressure bonus.
Just press OK.
Yeah, you're not got a bonus. Ooh. So you can add one to your pressure level.
Ooh.
So you can now click on pressure level if see what happens. Don't roll a 1, as John would say.
Oh shit!
And don't do that. Effectively is what I meant. But you did. That's splendid.
No, actually, I think you'll find it's not so splendid.
So, if you wouldn't mind dragging that across onto your character sheet.
Yeah, in shock.
Yeah.
Dren.
So click star. There you go. Perfect. And yeah, it's been hours. It's been several hours since you have slept. You're aware. It's been a long time. You realize that with McNary's little kind of breakdown, that's kind of left you pretty much in charge. The stress is starting to get to you, and you can see, you're looking at these brown sheets, and you're realizing these are people that they were under your charge. They were under your care, effectively. You were responsible for them. And it's yeah, you're just kind of feeling like drained at this point.
I just turned to Gideon, saying, we might have to take the initiative here and do something. This is hell.
Yes, but until we know what we can actually do to fight it, I'm not sure what else we can do. We just have to keep pressing on and try and find a way to stop it getting worse.
You make your way further down the corridor through more of this strange bioscape. You can see through some of the sheets and the red lights that are kind of flashing, indicating some kind of emergency, like a containment breach, if you like. But it's kind of dulled and casting these odd shadows as these warning lights are going on. You see MedLab ahead. The door is kind of been wrenched off or pushed aside.
Oh, moly.
And further down the corridor in the darkness, you see movement. Something move. And it's bigger than a person. It seems to be rounding the corner, and disappearing out of sight.
Into the lab.
But it was away from the lab. It was yeah.
Oh, that's not good. It's whispered though. It's like
So Susan doesn't hear.
No, just loud enough for her to hear, but so that whatever's around the corner doesn't.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not really concerned if she doesn't like it.
I turn around and hold up the little fire extinguisher and go, will these be... I think we're going to need bigger ones.
We're going to need a bigger
fire extinguisher.
Doesn't quite work, does it?
No.
I think we're gonna need. I think we're just gonna need something else entirely. I think a fire extinguisher is not gonna cut it, regardless of size. We may just have to. It was one of those things. I don't know if we could safely jettison it into space. But we'll put a pin in that for now. I
We're
just hope
retarded.
that whatever this is, I just hope whatever this is isn't trying to it's not this like weird growthy cell nonsense that's trying to steal the chips or whatever it's trying to do with them. I'd much rather have to deal with a regular human enemy with all this other madness going on.
Hmm.
We'll make our
So
way in.
this thing goes around the corner. Are we near the door? So did it come out
Yeah.
of those doors?
You're not sure. It was already because it's further down the corridor. You just kind of see something like movement, something fairly large, kind of move in the darkness around the corner. It's probably come from this area, or it has seen you and moved away. You're not sure, but it was quite quick as well.
Wonderful. We should. I think it might take us longer to get back to the med lab, but we should probably try to stick to like smaller spaces, given how big that thing was. But yeah, let's just hurry up. Get in there, find out what's happened in the lab, shut off the alarm, and then get back.
Okay, so you kind of enter med lab. Not med lab, lab 1, and you can see there's a number of kind of containment cylinders that have been placed at various places around this room. There's computer systems that are kind of switched on. Their data is kind of flowing up along the screens on those. They're crackling slightly and casting an eerie light into the room. There is a noticeable gap on one of these kind of work tables.
Is there anything around that might tell us what was on the table, like a data sheet or a console?
There is a console with CCTV.
Yeah, I could try use my security-ness to try and figure out if we can backdate it to see, or try and figure out what was taken.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Let's make a roll.
Yeah, with any luck, it was just a box of donuts.
It's going to be education, but you can add your security to it. Excellent. Okay.
Phew.
Yeah, you can see there was there was some kind of security chest that was kind of placed onto that worktop, and it had been anchored down with some quite heavy bolt. It seems to have been those bolts seem to have been extracted, but not kind of crudely.
Huh.
And I think maybe there's a little bit of kind of tissue maybe around there, as if something organic perhaps grabbed a hold and unscrewed them manually. But kind of damaged themselves.
Yeah, I was really hoping that wasn't the case.
What was it? What's been removed, Gideon?
Some kind of secure lockbox that they bolted to the table. Whatever it was seems to have unscrewed it and taken.
What do they keep in those boxes?
Knowing this kind of lab, probably something very important and very confidential. I would guess these are biochips that everyone's talking about, and they were kind of mentioned in that lab. That's kind of mentioned in that lab guy's notes.
Whose lab was this?
Oh, sorry about that, folks.
What's his name? Brennan?
This is lab 1. This is Dr. Brennan's.
Yeah, the guy that's now sprawled all over one of the med bays.
No, that was Barbara. Dr. Brennan is the head of the biochip research. Her and Dr. Lee are both the kind of people that are responsible for this whole, all of the biochip things. Now, for anybody that wasn't aware, the biochips were designed to allow an interface between like a human host and like prosthetic limbs or organs. That was their primary function was for that.
Okay, I got the names mixed. You got me confused. So this is Dr. Barber's lab.
No, Dr.
Brennan.
Brennan's lab.
Okay.
So
And we've
Barber
This
not
is
heard
like
from
this
Barber
is
was-
like the top
yeah, Barber
research
was
facility
trying.
in the-
Yeah, I got the guys
Yeah,
mixed
so
up. But yeah,
Dr. Brennan we
Barber
haven't spoke to for a while, have we?
No, she's in that lab.
Barber was trying to improve upon this design by using a cellular biological approach, which is
Yeah.
why we have our current problem.
So do we know where Dr.
Um,
Brennan is?
It's med lab.
And she's still...
It's still, yeah, still intact.
So who else worked in here at this lab then that would have knowledge of it?
Dr. Lee.
And have we seen Dr. Lee?
Yeah, they're both in. They're
They're
both
both
in
in
there.
med lab. They
Right,
came
okay.
with us from the big
that's
meeting.
that area.
There was the Cole was the guy who was like their test subject.
Corporal Pope,
Pope. That's
and
the one.
he's the one that started rapidly growing another limb.
Okay,
Yeah,
so...
but
in
it
front
did
of Susan.
noticeably kick out his implant.
Yes.
But I don't know that.
No, you don't know that, but that is exactly what happened.
So the
The-
only
the other
people that
person
would
here
have
knows.
knowledge of what's in that box, the two are in the med lab, and then Corporal
Pope.
Pope.
Who's gone rogue somewhere.
I go on my little
Yep.
Corporal Pope. Report to Lab 1.
We should probably page the doctors. Because if Pope has gone transformed like all these other people, then I hope he doesn't remember where Lab 1 is.
So that was him that's just took it.
I hope not. But who knows?
Or maybe we should go after that thing. Slowly.
Feel
Caution.
free.
But we need to stop it. If it's...
Well, I mean, the two doctors are in med lab with everyone else, so we could. I'll ping them.
But this thing is not just a thing that's gone gooey and sloppy on the floor now. This thing, whatever's happening,
It's
is
it's
walking
evolving.
and taking things.
Yeah, so we need to know what it took, and we could follow it, and it'll tell us where it's going and where it's hiding. But like, we need to.
Okay,
the
so I'll
doctors
go on
tell
to...
us where. That Lee and Brennan need to tell us what was in that lockbox.
So I'll go on to the comms. To Lee, Dr. Brennan.
The answer. Well,
Gideon, can you cut the alarm?
Yeah, I'll try to find where I can access that from.
You can do that.
Yeah, from the console, and then I'll.
Yeah. Yeah. So you get onto the communicator, Susan. No, was it calling Brennan? Who was calling Brennan?
Me. I just said Dr. Lee, Dr. Brennan.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you kind of call up to MedLab, and somebody answers and puts you through. Dr. Brennan answers. This is Dr. Brennan.
We're in Lab 1 and something has removed the security box from the counter. What was in it?
The security, the lockbox.
Yes.
Damn.
What was in it?
Had the
Now's not the
biochips.
time for secrets.
That's
The biochips.
They were the last of the biochips. We've lost everything.
I really don't
mean,
think that's quite
in many ways.
important right now. The fact is, who's got the biochips? Whatever those goo things are, they're not goo, they're intelligent. And we've just watched a very big thing walk off and we think it's got the security box. What could they do with those biochips?
I have no idea what they want with them. Why would they want them?
Well, I'm asking you, what could they do with them?
I don't know. At this moment, across all the communications, you hear this is Captain Wyatt of the DSCV Roebuck. We are in system, and descending the gravity well shall rendezvous with La Jolla in 4 days, 27 hours and 16 minutes, standing by to receive up-to-date velocity and vector data.
Where do we need to be to tell them to stay away?
Well, they should hear they should
distress
hear
signal.
the signal, right? Yeah.
One would hope.
Well, I'm hoping the station manager guy will send a message back.
I wouldn't trust him
Well,
as far as I could throw him. On the way from here back to MedLab, we need to check that beacon is going. Otherwise, something very
you
bad
hear
is
a
going to
voice
happen.
on the other end of the com. I can do that. You hear somebody shouting from the far back in the room. I can do that. I can do that.
Well,
And
in the lab we're in now.
no, you hear it over the intercom.
Oh, okay.
So all of you can hear this conversation in MedLab through the intercom. So you hear this young woman at the back shouting, "I can do that! I can do that!" And you look round and recognise she's wearing the kind of the insignia on her tunic. She's a Comtech, so she's quite capable of doing this.
Get it done.
So she heads over to your console. Dr. Kimura, she kind of looks at you for approval as she kind of looks at the one of the consoles in the lab.
I just yes. What are you doing? Yes.
They want me to check that the quarantine beacon is
Yes.
signaling. We don't want the Roebuck to come anywhere near the station, obviously.
No, definitely not. No, not yet.
She heads over to the console and swipes away some of the stuff that perhaps you were using as part of your research.
Just keep an eye on what she's doing.
Yeah, and she kind of calls up this kind of communications log, and she starts flicking through, and you hear her saying, "Everything seems in order. Yeah, seems to be. We're broadcasting. Don't tell them not to worry. We are broadcasting."
Is she lying?
Oh, do you want to make a roll to find out?
I do. Yes.
I'm going to tell you, she doesn't appear to be lying.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
you can probably
keep an eye on
see
it.
the graphic on the console flashing up anyway, saying broadcast or whatever it is that's kind of happening.
Yeah. Keep an eye on it.
So
If they try to come any closer, just actually tell them to stay away. If they don't seem to be picking up the beacon.
Sure. And it's probably about that moment, Dr. Kimura, that as you're kind of staring at this Comtech, you're trying to keep an eye, you're suddenly aware of there's like the screen flashes several times. And as you're watching, you kind of see this Comtech is sitting there. She seems kind of transfixed almost on the screen. And she blinks rapidly, and you see her hand twitch, and then she suddenly sits back in the chair.
Are you okay?
I'd like you to make an education plus your medical roll, if you wouldn't. Oh, out the park. You notice as she kind of looks around at you, and she looks a little bit confused. But the thing that you notice immediately, her seems very red around her eyes.
Maybe you should step away from the console a moment.
And she
Time we
looks up at you.
talked.
What happened?
Yes. You need
Steps
to
up
away
and
from
gets away from the console. Yeah.
I'm going to look at the console. Does it look like it's broadcasting?
The console, it's still on the communications thing. It's
Yep.
definitely broadcast. Yeah.
But what's it broadcasting?
No, it's like an emergency beacon. It's definitely, you can see the message and everything. It's definitely broadcasting an emergency beacon, warning all ships that La Jolla Station is currently under quarantine.
Okay, I'm just looking at her again.
Okay.
Maybe you should sit down and let me see. You seem to have blacked out for a moment. It's
What?
probably distress.
What?
Yes. Let me lie down and let me do some tests and check.
Okay. And you lay her down on one of the. It's almost a countertop by this point, I think. Are you sealing? Are you shutting her? Oh, you just want to look at the console.
Yeah, just
Okay.
looking at these, just pulling the.
Okay. And she's kind of got this redness around her eyes, as if she's kind of rubbed her eyes, really, really vigorously for the last 5 minutes or something.
Do you have an itch or feel something strange?
No.
Ah, your
Her
eyes are
eyes-
very red, as if you've had an irritant or something.
They feel
Maybe-
kind of dry.
Yes, it's probably the ceiling in here. Yes, the atmosphere might not be something probably wrong with it. Don't worry about it. Let me just take a few tests just to make sure there's nothing else there. And I'm going to get some instruments and get a sedative, a deep sedative, and go over with some instruments, and I'm going to sedate them.
Okay, right. So yeah, you sedate her.
Yes.
I'm not
and
sure
you've kind
who's
of
the
noticed
biggest enemy here.
before she goes out, you've noticed her eyes are suddenly very bloodshot. Yeah, it all seems very strange. You're pretty sure that she was okay
Okay.
a moment ago.
I want to take some samples, some genetic samples, blood, or little skin sample.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check under
From
the
around the eye.
nails. Yes. And
Yeah.
Oh, around the eye or under the nails.
She,
Okay.
she only
Yes,
needs
under the
one. She only
nails.
needs one eye to do her job.
She only needs one eye to do a job. That is perfectly and utterly true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, you start taking some tissue samples from various parts of her body, yeah?
And I want to check if there's any infection in her that is related to what we have going on here.
Right. So the thing you notice is that her heartbeat has suddenly increased, and is kind of much more rapid than it should be, especially considering she's sedated. The redness around her eyes has increased, and as you're kind of sitting there, you kind of open her eyes up to have a good look, and you're shining the old light in there. You're watching as you're seeing kind of like blood vessels bursting in her eye
Ew.
as
Like someone flipped a kill switch.
kind of like that, I suppose. Except she's not dead.
Not yet.
Can we sample these tissue samples to see if there's any of these?
I'm going to say yes. You damn
Good.
well can.
Excellent.
Yeah. So I don't know
Pop
if
her eye out. Why don't you? If you could,
what
Not
was
yet.
happening?
Give me a second.
Yeah. When in Rome.
Yeah. Is there anything that Jansen would like to be doing at this moment, or you just want to kind of pass on anything at the moment, or assist the doctor?
Dyson
in
goes
any
up to the mirror and checks.
Now, he's going to be
I
looking
should-
at plans.
way? You have seen this. You've seen all this go off in MedLab. You have seen what's just happened. What Dr. Kimura has just done. You've just seen Comtech Brent. As she was checking. She was fine 1 minute. She was checking the beacon. There was a slight flash out the corner of your eye that you didn't quite catch. But when you look round, she seems to have... It's almost like blacked out for a second and kind of come back. And Dr. Kimura is now paying quite a bit of an interest here.
Oh no. Yeah. I mean, is Abdul's in here as well, isn't he?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd speak with Abdul to see if we can use these consoles to see if anything's up with the system. 'Cause it was flashing, and obviously it shouldn't be doing that.
Okay.
Because I also did have an idea of I want to make a flamethrower out of. 'Cause we've got these fire extinguishers for cold, So we
Okay.
can make a rainbow because we grab a Bunsen burner, it's connected to a gas tank, get a massive tank of something flammable
Yep.
to spray, and then we got a flamethrower.
Okay.
And just raid in the doctor's lab. That's
Sure.
putting
Don't
stuff
roll a
together.
one.
Like,
We don't want you to blow up and kill everyone in the lab.
Yeah, he's going to make you roll, and you're going to blow up the ship unintentionally.
Yeah, we were like, well, everyone who knows how to fix it is dead, so we might as well
Look,
blow up the
I
station.
told you. I told you in part 1 that Jansen is the hero of this piece, and now you know why.
kaboom.
Is that heroic?
Okay.
Don't roll a 1.
So you head over to this console, Jansen. Everything seems to be
Mm. Yeah, it's just very strange that the screen would flash like that. It's set up like
isn't it?
Oh,
Isn't it strange?
Yeah.
do some techie stuff on it.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, from here, can we run like diagnostics on the systems or something?
Yeah. Who's
That'd
doing
be-
it? You or Abdul?
Abdul.
To be honest, it would be because I like that. I want to get.
Kimura.
Oh, while
Do
I'm
it
making this,
yourself.
while I'm making this bomb, Abdul.
Dr.
Yeah.
Kimura. As you're watching, you kind of see what you see that Jansen and Abdul are kind of now examining this console. You kind of take a glance and you see them doing that.
Okay.
As you're looking at the samples of this tissue, you are suddenly aware that the tissue samples that you take from around Comtech Brent's eye are rapidly reconverting themselves now into lewisite.
Ooh.
Vacuumer.
So
Okay, I'm going to.
make a medical and education roll for me, would you? An education roll without your medical skill to it. Okay, so something, and you're not quite sure how this will have occurred, has flash recoded the DNA of the cells around Comtech Brent's eyes. They are rapidly now turning themselves into lewisites. The lewisites are starting to spread throughout her entire body.
Okay, I'm kind of turning and just watching, but not looking at the screen at our 2 engineers. that are
Holy
there.
shit!
And I'm going to get a camera and I'm going to film them.
Okay. Okay.
For science, that's why.
Wow.
Zach.
Maybe put her on the other side of a pane of glass or something before you just whip your camera out.
No, don't do anything too obvious.
Zach, I'd like you to make an education and you can add your engineering skill to this.
Thanks.
Look
Yay.
at that. Something has just recently sent some kind of communication through this terminal to like through the actual terminal itself. There's been a broadcast from another terminal somewhere on the station, or even the central computer core, that has just been sent to this particular terminal just a few seconds ago.
So, no, it's only this terminal.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I will look into try and find where it came from.
Okay, and that's kind of the weird thing, is it? You're not entirely sure, which makes you think maybe it was some kind of central computer core in some way. And there's no ID either as to who sent the message.
which is unusual.
Yes.
Huh.
A bit like an IM, if you like.
Just an anonymous.
Yeah, but it's not come from anybody on the station. There's no idea associated.
Oh shit.
So, right, where would be the main computer, like central computers? Would that be in its
Yeah,
own
that's
room?
that's kind of down on the kind of utility.
3 floors.
Yeah, down near the bottom of the station.
Yeah. Okay. So I will just say this to the room and just say, look, I think somebody's in the computer rooms on the lower deck who sent this message that made her go all weird. So I don't know.
Are you feeling okay?
Yes. Why are you filming?
Just for science purposes.
But this is
You
engineering.
didn't see
techie
any
stuff.
flashes of light, did you, or anything like that?
No.
No, I didn't see anything myself. Most interesting. You're going down to engineering.
No.
The computer core, you said. The computer core, yes?
It's just somebody in the computer core, yes.
Oh, we should go down there then. We need to go down there.
What?
Yes.
I don't know what this code was. Like, what? Why?
It could be the answer to everything.
How?
It could give us the way of defeating this virus.
But you said that vacuum worked.
Yes,
So,
but vacuum will work. But if people are infected, that means putting everyone out in a vacuum.
What have you done with Comtech Brent, Dr. Kimura?
Oh, he's on the table.
She's on the table.
Yeah, she's on
Right.
the table.
So how have you kind of isolated her in some way?
No, not yet. No, not yet.
Okay.
That'd be far too easy.
Okay. Yeah, that would be, wouldn't it? I mean, you wouldn't. You've already got the containment.
Exactly.
It already is full of Dr. Barber. So
Exactly.
so it's kind of a bit weird when you hear Comtech Brent start whimpering from over on the table.
That will be the sedation wearing off. We should go down to the computer core and see what's going on. Come on, let's go.
A lot of people are kind of looking around, that are left in this room, looking around, saying, "What's going on? What's up with Brent? Why is she making that noise?"
don't go near the consoles.
What?
Just don't play with any screens.
We need to
You're
go
saying
check
this
out
over
the
comms?
computer core.
Not yet.
Are we near the computer core?
No,
Probably on
you're
a
probably
similar
nearer.
level.
You're nearer.
I think at this point, because he really wants to go to the computer core, I will like come through to Susan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gideon.
Doctors, I think I know where your biochips are going. Or have you? I have a bad feeling about this. I think I know exactly what's going on, but
like Susan, Gideon, we have a situation.
yes, we do.
Wait,
There's always a situation. There's
Not a
a
situation.
There's a giant shambling beastie just stole a bunch of biochips that allow you to interact with cybernetic prosthetics or whatever. And now something weird's going on with the computer core or whatever that just flash reprogrammed someone's DNA. Am I reading that right?
And you know what? If there was experience points in this game, you would have some.
Exactly right. That's why we need to go to the computer core.
So something is running this show from the computer core.
Yeah,
Everybody meet. We are meeting
Not quite.
computer
not-
core in 5 minutes.
But but going to the computer
you-
core,
if-
we're going down to lower levels, and there's things lurking around in lower
There's
levels.
things everywhere now. Man up.
Why?
That's sexist.
What?
But yeah. So if you're saying someone in the lab there has been like, whatever reprogrammed,
Doctor, I can hear you.
But
Swim.
someone needs to put them in an isopod.
We have no isopods left.
Can Can I speak to someone reliable on the other end of the phone, please? Are any of
I'm
the
gonna
parents
finish-
available?
I'm gonna finish making this flamethrower.
Okay, I'd go and make a roll.
So, Doctor, do you think we should go down to the
You get to add
computer core?
engineering.
Yes,
Why?
because we may find the answer to this whole thing here. There.
Yeah, basically it's
Yeah.
We
going to
could
be.
put
I
an
think
end
it's-
to
yeah,
it.
one way or another. Yes.
Okay. Any I'll put out on comms. Oh no, I won't. Scrap that.
Okay.
Let's just create a closed loop between the four of us and whoever else we can trust.
Um,
Probably not. Well,
Make the stupid wimpy commander. He can come with us. He can go in first.
Red shirt.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'm gonna probably not the best idea, but speak to Abdul and ask him to stay and keep an eye on the comms from the communication devices here. If
Yeah.
anybody else goes near it or it goes weird again, to give us a shout.
At that point, Dr. Kamara grabs a box and smashes the screen.
thank fuck for that.
That works too.
We'll make our way over. And we'll load up on dazers and whatever else we can find on the way.
Okay. So
We're going to
carrying-
war.
You're carrying a kind of an unwieldy, improvised incendiary device as well, there, Zach.
Yes.
Which is kind of cool.
I've got a fire extinguisher.
Susan has the carbon dioxide fire extinguisher. Gideon is about to get tooled up with some
Proper weapons.
hardware. And what about Dr. Kimura? What's Dr. Kimura taking?
Dr. Kimura's got a hypo spray full of sedative in his hand, ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
A few sample jars, probably.
No, he's going to use that on one of you guys. That's
Yeah. We're the sample jars.
yeah.
How rude.
I think.
Oh, and the
anything-
camera, yes.
And the
the camera.
Don't forget the camera.
Yes, we must have the camera.
Pulls out from the drawer one of those GoPro head things.
Yeah, I think anything heavy or anything that can fit in my pockets, I'm gonna take just so I can chuck at things. Just
Okay.
any sort of anything that I think would cause harm to something. It might not.
I'm
It might not actually
waiting
work.
for the scene where you have a face off against the giant monster and it just gets a stapler to the face.
Pretty much, that's what he's doing. He's grabbing anything he can,
Okay.
just
no,
in pure panic.
That's, yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. I think before we do any of this, I would like, after what's just occurred, and you've just realised, and Gideon, thank you for mentioning it and explaining everything that's going on. I'd like you all to make pressure rolls because it does
God
appear
damn it!
that Gideon may be on the right track.
Yeah.
I don't want to be right.
So,
Why did mine show?
Is there a box open behind you? Oh, well done, Gideon.
I mean, he's going to. I think that's the thing. He's geared up for war now, so he's basically just slipped into the old routine of everything must die.
Okay.
Do we need to make a pressure
Kimura,
level roll? Yes.
You need to add one to your. Well, I think
Yeah, I've
that's
done
your
that.
first point. Is that your first?
That's my first point. Do I need to make a
Okay.
pressure level roll now?
You won't because you can't roll less than
Okay, cool.
Mine's not rolling. Try. Mine won't roll, Mark.
Is it not rolling at all, or is
No.
it slightly you?
Just opened and shut my sheet.
I'll give it a try.
I mean, worst case, you could just roll a d6 and add your pressure bonus.
You succeed, Susan.
Okay, thank you. Shall I log out?
No, we'll wait until break. So, Zach, you are okay. I think you failed your test, so you are shaken by this revelation that somehow the Lewisites have figured out how to reprogram DNA somehow through the console.
Yeah. That should be happening.
No. The rest of the group that are kind of standing here as you're planning to make your way to the computer core are kind of, what are we supposed to do?
I mean, you could come and help.
Or you could stay behind with whatever her name was. Brent.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Keep an eye on Brent.
Yeah, you can give her a high five, and another one, and another one, and another one.
Yeah, and I think Dr. Baxter, he's the kind of the mathematician that had kind of explained the replication of these things in the last session, and how just within the space of 24 hours they had increased perhaps over each human body with 40 trillion cells, and these things had converted Barbara in a matter of hours. And now, probably the most popular sentient life forms in the galaxy.
Oops.
He's kind of a cool and level-headed guy, and he steps forward and he says to Dr. Kimura, "You realize what we need to do?"
Yes.
Yeah. Take a selfie with you.
None of these things can get off the station.
Yes.
You understand that?
Oh, yes. Wholeheartedly understand that.
He steps back. He's not sure that you do understand, but he's willing to let that go for now. Abdul steps forward.
Just don't look at any computer screens.
I'll come with you.
Are you sure? Like,
Look,
we're
if
going back
anything
down to
happens to
that.
you, you're going to need somebody that knows how to work the computer.
Yeah, but if anything happens to me and you're there too, that means it's happening to you.
Look, we can debate about it all day, or we can just get going. You
If
can
you're
order him
gonna
to. You're probably senior to him if you want him to stay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna want him to stay, because if we need access while we're down there and can't get access or anything like that, I need somebody to be able to get through and the
Okay. I mean, as you explain this to him, he kind of looks slightly relieved, but tries to hide it.
yeah. We've already got one panicked engineer. We don't need another one. Yeah, because I think it'll be literally like, if we can't get in and we can't access any panels down there, somebody can access from somewhere else. In theory.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You step out of MedLab, make your way down the corridor. Should we take a little break?
No.
What do you reckon? 10-minute break?
Yeah,
while
we'll meet up at just before the dead
reconvene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the final fight.
Fight.
And
Yeah,
at least one
dokies.
explosion.
10 minutes, guys. We're going to have a quick wee and get some toast. Or
Oh, and sorry, I didn't spot that.
yeah.
Thanks.
You
Finally.
can go and get
You're
some.
welcome.
Go on, everybody can go and get some shitty toast.
Shitty toast.
Swear.
That sounds fantastic. Tell me more.
God made me swear. I won't swear.
No, I
God
didn't.
made me swear.
No, I didn't.
Dave,
Oh no, Dave made me swear.
Dave, how dare you?
Don't
Dave
pin
made me
this on
swear.
me.
The shitty toast is
Right.
on you, mate.
Dave, you need to go and get some shitty toast now.
wow.
So back in 10, guys. Go and have a
Alright,
wee,
see you
get
on
a
the other
drink, get some
side.
toast. Actually,
And
don't
we're
recall
live.
without.
That was close. That was close.
Very close.
I like mastering my dramatic timing.
That was fantastic.
I did a thing that I said in the fun group today about I over dramatic. I did a Shatner, and an over dramatic.
An over dramatized thing.
Yes,
What was that?
I went. You know, that's what we have to do now. We need to get a new team thing. It's dream thing, the way we have to be over dramatic. It needs to be called as Shatner.
Are you saying Shatner is over dramatic?
Yeah.
What do we have to do with the rest of the streamers? Like the sort of Shatner halting dialogue.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Believe we should do this.
And
We
then
have
be
to
really
stop
over
the computer
dramatic.
core.
You don't mess with Shat.
No, I'm not saying he's bad. And Star Trek, the original series, is the best Star Trek out of all of them, and I've seen them all. But
She said it, folks.
She is a geek.
She's
But-
it's true. It is true, but
he is very dramatic.
that's because he's an actor.
No, overacting it's called. So there you go.
William
leave that
Shatner,
one
if
there.
you are watching, she doesn't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, she doesn't. We think you're absolutely fucking amazing.
Amazing. But he is. If you see the bits,
And backpedal.
no, if you see the bits like where he's like when the spaceship was like crashing, and the,
I
That's
mean,
what they had to do.
That was
yeah,
everyone.
I mean they literally
really
shake the
say
camera,
that.
and people on screen throw themselves around. They shake the camera. That's how
No,
they did it back in the day.
should our spaceship be crashed or anything like that, we all have to do the Shatner drama
Okay.
bit.
I should dig up
Okay.
the video they did for the Next Generation where someone stabilized the
The
camera, and it's just
Yes.
hilarious.
Dave,
And,
God!
like Michael Dorn throwing himself across the room.
Yeah. I said that
God.
there is that one scene in Wrath of Khan where one of the extras does just that and throws himself right in front of the camera. He's like, I must be seen, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Need on-screen credit.
You don't get to see his face.
That's
He
fine,
disappears
'cause
that fast. But it was a fantastic bit of extra work there.
Again, we
Method.
are so easily distracted onto things that are really not relevant right now.
Yeah. Method X-ring.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
related.
Yeah.
Space.
You
Yeah, let's
started
go,
it.
yeah. So we're gonna segue smoothly from the sci-fi TV to sci-fi drama.
Yeah.
Final frontier.
The spinal
Space
frontier, more
station.
like.
Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
the space station not crashing currently. So, unfortunately, nobody gets to throw themselves around in their chair in a rather dramatic way.
You're not the boss of me.
And you know what? I tell you, you'd be knocking it out of the park with the XP right now. If there was any in this game, you would. If there was
I think you'll
inspiration,
find we've all been brilliant.
I mean,
would have
could I inspire myself out of my mental illness on my character sheet?
no.
Oh, you know what I didn't do in the break?
What didn't you do? Oh, you didn't
Go
fix
to the
your character.
bathroom.
I
No,
was-
she didn't. She did that.
She
she
didn't
was
have
awake.
the toast.
No, she didn't have the
No.
shitty toast. Was
Okay,
not.
you can start. I'll just log back in.
She
Anyway.
wasn't surfing. Was she on sites that she shouldn't be surfing?
No, I haven't done that today. Give me a moment.
Today specifically.
I've been busy today.
In a few moments, when she's got nothing else to do for some reason,
Start Googling something.
She can
Just-
start googling whatever she wants. So you are heading to the computer center on the station, are you not?
For some
Yes.
reason, we are.
Yes.
Yes. For some reason, we believe this is somehow the do or die moment
Yes.
for unspecified reasons.
Hmm. So you make your way to the elevator.
Oh,
How many laser shots would it take to kill a scientist?
asking for a friend.
Yeah.
And you know, I can tell you exactly how. Maybe
All of them.
if you roll okay.
Depends if he's been infected.
Yeah, it's kind of between 1 and 4. How about that?
To the computer core.
To the computer core. Let's go there instead, because that seems like a perfectly rational and reasonable place to go.
Well, now you say it like that, it doesn't.
We must go to the computer core.
And so you're in the elevator, He's heading down towards the lowest deck, the utility. The door opens into a corridor that, yeah, it no longer kind of resembles the station to any discernible degree. The walls and the ceiling are completely covered. The floor is completely covered with this kind of brown, fleshy tissue, thinly kind of draped across
Ooh.
corridors or whatever. I would like to know. I know that some of you are wearing. I would like to know if all of you are.
Thinking,
Yeah.
just suddenly goes.
Somebody forgot to tell the doctor. Oh, by
No,
the
no.
way,
The
you probably
well, I
will.
mean, the doctor was offered, but he can't lick the virus stuff if he's in a hazmat suit.
You think a hazmat suit's going to make a blind bit of difference?
I think so.
It can reprogram your DNA by looking at a screen.
Give yourself inspiration for that.
This game doesn't
Commander
have
strength.
inspiration.
But if it did, you would have it.
It won't make
well.
any difference.
Shows what you know. I can't read.
Yeah. So the door kind of opens onto this kind of. It's like an area, like an area that is kind of where a bunch of the elevators descend station. And they open out into this kind of small room, which is there's a kind of a door that leads out. But this is kind of right. Do summit.
That doesn't sound at all doing.
Isn't it? Yeah, and this kind of brown stuff coating pretty much everything. You're gonna have to cut through it. Door.
Oh. What with?
You could use your hands if you wanted.
We
Think so.
try to burn our way through.
It needs an engineer to do that.
Wait, what? Are we sure we want to go this way?
Oh yes, definitely. The
Oh.
answers to the whole issue are going to be here. I have a good feeling about this.
Yes.
It's a great feeling.
Oh yes.
Great.
I mean, if we get lucky, we could reprogram it to normally like undo what was done in the first place.
Oh.
It's gotta be possible somehow.
I just.
What's the plan then? Who's cutting through, and how?
Just be like, well, we did everything we could.
I'm
We
holding
give
the camera.
I'm just going to spray it. I'm going to spray a bit of the fire extinguisher on it and see what happens.
Yeah, okay. So you fire your fire extinguisher with it, and it kind of goes white, covered with the freezing cold gas.
Then I punch it when it looks frozen.
And then you, of course, punch it because that's perfectly real thing.
Just thinking, like, if it's frozen, you sort of like punch it, it will just shatter, and then it will just.
Yeah.
So yeah, it shatters, and it kind of there's a hole about so big. You can see the door through.
Yeah. Never spray this on the hull of the space station.
Now this is a little bit different. I mean, the space station at least is
Yeah, I know.
designed, not to deal with kind of shit, but this tissue apparently not. So the door, you can make out the door. Are you going to grab it and kind of tear open the rest?
Yes. I might spray it a bit first. Because I don't want to get goo on me, but it's so I can smash through. Just to get to the door.
Sure. Right. So you spray more of the uh, the kind of sheet with the fire, and it kind of hardens, kind of tear it, crack, it kind of rips. It's very, very simple, easy. It's not like really tough. You kind of tear this thing open, and it rips, kind of tears up with this kind of strange, unpleasant kind of tearing sound. Makes a gap all the way up to the top, and pretty soon you've kind of revealed the doorway beyond, and it kind of just slides open, allowing you to step through into the corridor beyond. You kind of the floor is slightly soft underneath, like thick carpet, but it obviously isn't carpet.
We can think it's carpet.
You can pretend it's carpet if you wish.
Is it Sloopy?
Is it like...
Is it like walking on a pub floor the morning after?
Ew.
No, it's not. It just feels kind of a bit uneven. And slightly, yeah, like you're walking on just kind of like on a thick matting. But it's okay.
Is it though?
You've all brought the torches. Jansen has brought up engineering, I assume, because it is very dark here.
Oh yeah, like he's filled all pockets. It's
Oh, wow. I've just noticed.
or anything.
Yeah. Did you bring anything else with you?
I would like to lie right now and say, yes, we were pre-planned.
Okay. And what would you like to have brought with you?
Flamethrower, a
We've already got that.
machete,
Machete is a bit tricky to get hold of on station.
another hazmat suit to go over what I'm wearing. Um,
Can anybody think
an
of anything?
escape
Anybody think of
pod.
anything that you might have required?
Got the camera. I'm okay.
You're okay.
Maybe
You've
like
got your
a
camera.
data access tablet or something we can use to access the computer system.
Don't look at the
Yep.
screen though.
Yeah, you know you can have that. Absolutely.
I think
So
it's, I've
on
just
this
got-
map, where are we coming in?
You're in the lift, the vertical, right in the middle.
Okay.
For some reason, your screen's not showing animation.
Mine is.
Yeah. Are you using bloody Internet Explorer
It's...
or Microsoft Edge? Um. So,
Uh,
what did you want, Jensen? What were you thinking of bringing?
I don't. I'm just trying to think what like I would have in like a tool belt, if anything, extra. Because he's literally just rammed his pockets full of utter crap. He's got this flamethrower, and then I think he would have just grabbed all he grabbed all the torches and stuff from engineering. So I don't know.
Torches and tools, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was literally just anything could fit on his person without carrying anything.
Okay, well, we'll bear that in mind. Maybe we can do some kind of roll or whatever if you need some.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're kind of standing. Just step out of the elevator. You know roughly computers. this away. Worked. Kind of to the top of your map.
Yeah, he zoomed in. That was cool.
Yeah.
So basically, got to come out the corridor. Well, we'll just. I'll say. Right. So we're just gonna. We're gonna step out, and we know where we're heading. So
Yeah, it's like the most direct route.
yeah. So I'm not sure. Can we draw lines on this? I can't think we do.
I don't know. Just drag your token into the corridor or whatever.
We have a
We have a token?
Do you not see your tokens in the
No.
I see some like flashing.
around
Yeah.
here?
I just see a
Yeah,
circle.
One of them should be yours. I'll tell you what. Let's separate them out. There's Bahari. There's Jensen.
I see that. I see them.
Oh, it just
I
looked
can't grab it though.
Can you not?
like... No, they just paused.
This could be one of those maps where we need
Ah,
to pack the motion
There you
sensor.
go.
Okay, cool.
Oh, now that would have been a cool idea, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would have been a great. But we didn't say.
The motion sensor. Did anybody bring a motion sensor?
No.
Well, I have my
We
tablet
lie.
thing. We could sense it. We could calibrate, like use it to use internal sensors to sense movement.
Okay, so who's going to be carrying it?
I mean, a days only needs one hand, right?
Yeah.
So I could just use my offhand and just not look at it when I don't need to look at it.
Yeah.
Unless someone else wants to carry it. That isn't the doctor.
I'll carry it if you want.
Sure, go ahead. And then I could use 2 daisies.
2 daisies.
Twice as effective.
So who are you carrying it then, Susan? Are you?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So where's it come? Yeah, so it's just most direct route to communication. So be
Yeah,
point.
so I'm going to walk up to the end here. And as I come around this corner, motion sense up there. And that's where I'm heading.
Yeah, I'll take the lead.
Can we hear anything or?
No, it is deathly silent. You can probably hear the hum of the station itself, so you know everything is kind of working. But other than that,
How?
Oh.
okay.
Oh.
So
Loud.
yeah.
Sit down. It's very loud.
Yeah. I think you might have to do that. I should be able to tell you what.
Ambient.
Yeah.
No.
You have to turn it down yourself.
I don't know how to do it.
Oh, you can turn the sound off. There's a little white arrow underneath.
Do that. Yeah, click the little button.
Huh? Oh yeah.
That is cool though.
Oh.
Okay. So that's kind of the only sound you are hearing is the sound from the motion track
Ooh.
and the hum of the station. Everything else is deathly quiet.
Can't stop it.
Is there anybody here?
Oh, where did the motion?
Ah, there we go.
Click.
No, I had it open. I've got it open in 2 places. That's why.
Oh, okay. No worries.
Oh. Okay, yeah. So Wilkes is gonna lead the way on.
Okay. Susan, as you kind of head up this kind of main corridor here, the sheets have kind of covered parts of the doors. You can kind of maybe glimpse cracks through the sheets. They're kind of ragged. They're not kind of all uniform. Have this kind of brown, fleshy tissue. And so you can kind of make out details underneath. And perhaps where there's protrusions that are kind of outside of the walls, where doors are, you can kind of make those out as well through the kind of the tissue. And just up ahead, in your torchlight, as you kind of shine it ahead, you can see like a large bulbous object seems to be kind of sticking out from the wall. And through the torchlight, you recognize this, Zach. You've seen this before. It's completely black, except for like the side that's kind of closest pointing in your direction. There are these kind of yellowish hexagonal holes, each with a single hair sticking out, just
What?
twitching.
Ew.
And it's about 4 feet tall on this wall, kind of sticking out a few feet, stretching across the corridor. It's not blocking it. You could get past it.
How close do we have to get past it?
You'd have to walk right past it. It's kind of like attached to the wall, kind of here.
Oh, okay.
Just have to be very quiet. What's this corridor going off to the right? Maybe.
You know that leads into the fuel storage area.
Turn to the others.
Could we use it
Should
to
I
cut
spray
around?
it with? Should I spray it with
No.
the fire extinguisher?
We can
I
we
think
can
we should
try.
antagonize it as little as possible.
We could take some samples.
We should just leave it alone.
Okay, I'll
And-
follow
and-
you.
Now you've gotten closer to it, Susan, from where you are, as you're kind of shining your torch across where this kind of bulbous thing is. You can see there are kind of like these. If Bahari can see it too, I think actually he's fairly close, so he can probably.
No.
The kind of black bone-like stuff kind of is extending away from this bulbous kind of center across the wall in various. There's about maybe 8, 9 of these things kind of extending off out of it, away from it, in the wall.
Into the wall, so look, we can get by still.
You can walk past it. You can
Yeah,
try
I
and,
think we
yeah,
should-
and get past it. I mean, you'll have maybe a gap between you of about this away from it, and you know that you can see these kind of little hairs kind of sticking out, these little hexagonal holes on it.
I think we should kill it.
I mean, if any of you have got that kind of weird, that kind of
Trypophobia.
yeah, that's
Yeah, you'll
triggering
be
like
having a very
fuck right
bad
now.
time.
Like those little hole things.
yeah.
It's
I
a
hate
fear
them.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
That is that. Yeah, if any of your characters suffer from that, you're going nuts, right? In fact, make
Yeah.
a pressure roll if you have.
I don't think I've got it, but I don't like it in real life.
Hmm.
I mean, I was trying to
That's-
suggest that we try skirt this around by going like through finding a new route through the corridors.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I imagine if anyone gets too close, then it'll whatever it is will wake up. Or
I don't think we'll get through if you
something.
look out.
Awesome.
I don't think there's a way through.
Dr. Kimura, is that what you're doing?
I'd like to take a sample, yes. For scientific research,
no.
of course.
That sounds like a thing that
Oh,
you.
no.
Well, unless somebody's going to stop. That is certainly a. Is anybody stopping?
Yes. Stop or I'll shoot you.
But
Hey,
we
so
must.
You've got
find
plenty of
out.
samples. You've got plenty of samples. Now is not the time.
I haven't got a
Okay.
sample of this one.
Yes, but this thing.
Now is not the time.
Let's just leave it.
You're
We can
not
come
gonna-
back.
You got
Can't
much
you
more
just
important
go-
things to do than your weird fetishes. Now, just put that sampler thing back in your suitcase.
We need to be quick and get this over and
We
done
need
with.
to get to the computer core. We need to stop whatever's happening.
Keep going as quick as we can.
You can get a sample on the way back out if we make it.
okay, so you all kind of squeeze past this, trying not to touch any of these strange hairs, or are you going a different way? Where's Bahari suggesting?
Well, I was wondering if there is there another route.
I mean, you
through
could
the
probably
map,
go
but
through
if we
that
could
fuel
just circle around.
storage. You probably could go through that fuel storage area and make your way through that.
Well, we can put it to a vote. Do we
But
squeeze past, or should we
you will have
the
to
longer
cut
route?
through some of this sheeting to kind of get through the door.
Yeah, it might just be
If
just as
speed
risky.
is of the essence, we should squeeze past.
Yeah.
Camera out. Just in
Let's
case,
go.
of course.
I'll follow Bahari's lead.
Yeah.
Okay. So is Gideon taking the lead on this one?
Let's put up to a vote. Now everyone's just like, we'll do what he said.
You're the guy with the gun.
That's democracy.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking if we cut through this thing, it might have us just as much chance of waking up the blob, whatever it is. So I think we have to chance the gap.
Okay. So who's going first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I mean, everyone's following my lead, so you know.
Sure.
I've got my fire extinguisher ready to fire.
Yeah. If it
Okay.
wakes up, just nuke it.
Yeah. I mean, you're kind of
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
you're wearing kind of quite bulky hazmat stuff, right? So I think it's going to be entertaining if we kind of make a roll.
Oh, entertaining
Oh
for
no.
who?
But I'm not
Um,
wearing a hazmat suit, so that
Oh,
means I
you're,
don't need to
you're
make a
actually
roll.
wearing hazmat. Oh, you're
No,
not
I'm
wearing
not.
hazmat.
No, I'm not. No,
Oh,
I,
you're
no, no,
just-
no, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
You brave
Um,
man.
Yeah. So you
I'm already infected.
so right.
I am Dr. Barber.
Ah, who's going to roll? All of us.
Well, I am.
What are we
Gideon,
rolling?
you're going
Or
first.
just a
aren't
leader.
you?
Agility, I guess.
You're going first, aren't you?
Using my agility and my
Oh.
security training,
Security.
I would assume.
I'm not sure how that's going to help, but
Don't think you want to roll.
oops. If you want to kind of go ahead and squeeze past,
All of us.
well, let's do Bahari first. He's going first.
Yeah, I think it's because of on the job sneaking and tactical training and obstacle courses and all that kind of thing.
You know what? Go ahead. Go ahead then. I'm gonna be nice to you.
I mean, at least we're not playing on Roll20.
Oh,
Whew, just
You scoot past without any difficulty. Your bulky hazmat gear, it kind of gets in the way, and as you kind of squeeze past this, you're breathing in as far as you can, and doesn't seem to make any movement at all. These hairs are still kind of twitching, and you get a close-up view of these things as you. Oh, by the way, everybody, no, let's not. These things are kind of. Let's move on.
no,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
not.
Let's move on.
kill you all.
So Bahari, take yourself, kind of bring yourself over, kind of to this door. Because you're just here, you've got to cut through this sheeting, kind of open the door.
Oh, we have to do it anyway. Okay.
Yeah. So it's not much there. There's not much there, so it's a lot
Okay.
easier to cut through than the whole door. You kind of just drag part of it away,
It's a little knife or something.
and you're able to slip through the door ahead. Who's going next?
I'll go next. You want?
All right.
Yeah, I could reach back to, like, if someone is about to stumble, to try and like jerk them, like tug them through,
Okay.
and like hope for the best.
Okay. So, Susan, you kind of squeeze past, and you see kind of these twitching, and you kind of stop. You freeze momentarily, kind of realize that one of these hairs is just brushed against the computer center core on your suit in front of the regulation. And you kind of freeze momentarily as you see this kind of hair kind of bent back on the plate.
Shit. I step back further away.
You can't. You're up against the wall.
I go quicker.
So you step through across to the other side. And that's when it moves.
Oh shit!
And it kind of detaches itself from the wall.
Oh
You
shit!
feel-
Nuke it.
And these bone-like structures that were kind of descending, they kind of press away like legs almost. And you kind of then notice each one of them, there's like a human-shaped hand, but with 6 fingers on each. 2 thumbs. And it kind of, as they push away from the wall, and the thing is like a perfect black sphere with these kind of sensory organs across the top, these hexagonal shapes with these hairs. They kind of step away and pushes itself off of the wall and kind of drops into the center of the corridor. Now, you could fire your flamethrower at it right now, Jansen, but there's a very good chance that you might actually catch Bahari and
Do a fire extinguisher too.
That is
And-
generally the other reason I'm not doing it.
I mean, I'm behind Wilk, so I'll be all right.
well, maybe if fire does that.
I'll try the fire extinguisher on it quickly.
Right, okay.
Just try it. I mean, like I don't like. It's like imminent death or minor injury.
Okay, so it pushes itself away, as I say, and then these bony legs have kind of extended across the corridor, and it does kind of remind you of those old Earth spider-shaped things, except it does have these kind of 6-fingered hands on each at the end of each appendage, and it pushes itself up and rises up in this middle of this corridor, and you're going to try and fire
Go
the
to fire extinguisher.
yeah, go for it. I think this is an agility for you.
Great, because I've got 1. Yeah.
You're right. Now the reason for this is because we're all going
It's
to make
nice
pressure
knowing
rolls.
you.
We're all going to make pressure rolls right now. Now the other thing that you don't understand is that I'm using the new rules that John wrote in the expansion for this game, which means that certain creatures have a pressure mod, and you have to roll this with a -3.
Oh my god.
What do I need to roll then?
So you got to roll up, click on pressure bonus.
All of
put
us.
and put -3 in the box.
What?
Oh my god.
I'm really surprised that nobody made it.
I rolled a 1.
I mean, with the -3, like I physically can't succeed on the check, so it's like, what else can I do?
So please add a now.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, okay. When we are
Oh, I made it.
Oh.
add 1 to your pressure level, then Susan.
Okay.
What are you at?
3.
You're at 3. Okay. So you're having an episode. It's gonna be. Now you've already got in shock strength, don't you?
Yes.
So just click that star.
Yeah.
Should have. Right. Okay. You have panicked effectively, and you have blindly kind of gone to fire this fire extinguisher, but it has gone pretty much everywhere. It's barely hit this thing. Probably just slightly out of range, maybe, of a fire extinguisher. What's everybody doing?
Panicking.
I'm hysterically panicked. Yeah.
I'll try to shoot it with a dazer and see if that makes any difference. Like, I might as well just try and contribute. I don't really know what
I'm
I can
having
do.
a shot now.
Sure. Go for it. fire your days. You just got to click the star in the inventory if you've got the days loaded. You have succeeded, so you can click the damage.
I've just
roll.
noticed his dice. They're like skin gooey
I put effort into
dice.
that.
They're great.
Do I put
Okay.
anything in the damage modifier is 0, isn't it?
No, it's just 0.
Not
Cool.
trigger in
Oh.
the macro.
1.
The dart
Oh,
goes
hold on,
straight
no.
into this.
Oh, there was a bit of lag on it, so yeah, to roll a 3 rather than a 1 because
Yeah,
I
no, it was a
rolled the
3.
second.
I took the 3. Yeah.
Cool.
There's kind of like a as this thing kind of sinks into the fleshy body part of the creature, you see the dart kind of impact, and there's this kind of flash as the dazer kind of goes off, and you see this thing kind of rock back on all of its legs, momentarily, and then it goes to skitter around as it turns upon you in your direction.
Oh, I'm in
Susan,
front.
unfortunately, you're directly in front of it.
I am.
Pray
Shit.
Just do
as it
anything.
kind of, and it rushes you.
You got him right where you want him.
This is making great footage.
I hope it eats you next.
And it succeeds, and it kind of what happens here, Susan, as it's kind of you will see it kind of turn around, skit around, and then it just leaps on all of its legs, springs on top of Susan, and it kind of lands on her, and all of its legs kind of grab a hold of her, and one of these arms is kind of currently on her helmet, and you see it trying to wrench the helmet off, as it does this. Yeah.
Oh,
And it succeeds.
What?
With a
It's gonna give you a kiss.
as the helmet kind of comes off. Right. What's everybody else doing?
Dying?
No, we're not
Filming
dying.
this action, this creature, studying it as I film it, thinking, oh, magnificent.
We need to spray it, flame it, whatever. We just need to.
I know, but like,
I mean, the longer you wait, the more dead she's gonna be. So I don't know what the panic is about.
I know, but I don't want to burn her.
I mean, I think she's got greater concern than a bit of like light damage. Because I mean, she's in a suit.
Yeah, hazmat suit won't that melt anyway?
I mean, but still, she's about to get eaten. Do it. You said you would
Yeah.
follow my lead. Do it.
Okay, I will
That-
try it. I will shout sorry and just shoot. Use this flamethrower.
Sorry.
Okay. So
Maybe
you're
look
Magnificent.
making I think you're making an agility roll for this.
Who, me?
No, not you.
Oh.
Not you.
Agility. Okay.
Yeah. Um,
Sorry.
there's no plus. Oh, a partial success. Now, partial success in this case surely means
I lose a leg.
that perhaps you've maybe caught somebody in the.
Well,
So,
Dr. Kimura, what a shame.
I think
I'm behind.
what I'd like you to do, I think, for damage for this thing, I
Yeah.
think it's going to be a 1d6. So if you would roll it, because I haven't created a flamethrower, obviously, for this. Oh my god!
Rolled a 6.
Yes.
So, Susan, I think probably what the last thing you
No.
you experienced.
No. You just killed me.
As this flame kind of fills the corridor and completely engulfs this thing, and you hear a scream, but it's not from this creature. This creature is deadly silent. It doesn't say anything. It doesn't make any noise whatsoever. The scream is coming from Susan as
Oh no.
as she is kind of engulfed in flame. The whole thing just is. The corridor is just on fire momentarily, and
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, unfortunately, Susan, you are probably no more with 6 points of damage, right? What's your strength currently?
1.
Oh.
Yeah. Um, so I'm assuming that this is all in panic. And Zach has
Well, I hope
basically
he's so in panic and he wasn't like premeditated and she just wanted to kill me because I sent
It's
her in the air dog.
secretly payback from all the bossing around.
and I think maybe you should make an agility roll, Gideon, because
I'm dead. I'm going to go for a wee.
it's close.
That's fine. I dodge flamethrowers all the time.
Oh my
You
god.
manage to throw yourself backwards as this flame suddenly fills the entire corridor, and you hear the
Yeah.
scream too.
What did you build? You're
It's
supposed
a
to just build a normal
flamethrower.
flamethrower.
Now,
It's like a freaking inferno cannon.
I mean, and that's basically it. I think it's one shot. I don't think that you're going to get to use this again.
Oh no.
Yeah, we've run out of Susans to reload.
So, basically, this whole thing is just all that's left is this kind of burning, crispy remains of this thing that was attached to the wall, and perhaps Susan, who screams die away very, very slowly. And catching all this on film for YouTube later is Dr. Kimura.
Oh my god.
Smile.
Yeah. So all of the stuff on the walls, all of the creature that was attacking Susan.
So now we know that cold affects it and fire. It's fascinating.
Fire kills everything.
Hopefully it
Oh
doesn't
my
damage any
God.
of our equipment. That we may actually need.
Is there fire all over the corridor that we can't get through it? So we're separated from Bahari.
You are at the moment. Yeah, there is kind of like a bits of fire kind of.
You're going to have to go
Everything.
on without us.
Oh no.
I'm now going to bend down and start taking some samples.
Well, stomp it out. I mean, it's not going to be a huge fire.
No, I guess it's not going to be massive. Well, actually, it's kind of the fuel of this thing is probably still burning, right? As this.
Yeah. Well, it was a liquid flamethrower, so
Yeah. So
Yeah, if this was a Friday night cartoon, I would use Susan to beat the fire out, but sadly not.
yeah.
But like, yeah,
Which
at
would
least
have been
stomp
great
some of it.
and absolutely probably perfect if she wasn't on fire.
I mean, you know,
So maybe you're just spreading fire around by
But
hitting it
she-
with Susan.
but
Good job
wouldn't be-
she was
yeah,
wearing
she-
that hazmat suit.
oh,
If only she kept the helmet on.
Well,
So yeah, at the moment you're kind of separated by the burning remains of this thing and Susan, and well, you're in a corridor. It's dark.
Yeah.
There's a momentary light. It
Not
was very
now.
light for a moment.
Yeah, I'll scoop up the tablet. Like, if you go through the
Motion
fuel
sensor.
storage,
Actually, Susan had the motion sensor, so you no longer have it.
I don't know if she would have
which
dropped
is-
it at some point after being like.
I'm sure
tackled or
she
whatever.
did. I'm sure that they're fireproof as well.
yes,
not to
but the
mention
amount.
the damage to the smashing on the ground.
I mean, they make them like 3310s in this timeline. Yeah, if you go through the fuel storage, I'll meet you on the other side.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go this way.
Of course, yes, that sounds good.
Okay. So Bahari, you cut through the fleshy mass that's covering the door ahead of you. Make your way forward. And Jensen and Kimura. Fuel storage. You're right. You can cut through all of that if you wish.
I've got my camera up, waiting for Jensen to go first.
I'm going to try. Yeah, I'm going to try and cut through it all.
Okay. Yeah, and you've probably got tools that kind of slice through this thing without too much difficulty, and you kind of step through the door as it slides open. I mean, Angela's proper dead. Look, she's not letting us see her. And you're able to step through into the next area.
Yay.
Bahari, to your right, would lead you in to the center.
Sorry, what's that bit?
The door to your right leads you through to the computer center
Yeah.
or the computer core.
Is that like a little airlock system? Or should it just go
Yes,
through?
there is a very small one. Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully they'll come through the other side when I get around that corner.
Yep.
Is there anything to watch out for at the moment? Or does it all look calm?
It seems fairly calm at the
Phew.
Jensen and Kimura, you're in kind of a very short corridor. The door at the far end is clear of any organic material.
Okay.
You're able to step through, and you're kind of in an area that's kind of it's like there's the fuel tank all towering above you. Step through this area. The corridor stretches on and around to the left. There's patches of flesh. Too much. Kind of managed to get through.
You're cutting out.
That's me being quiet. And you
Oh.
managed to kind of step forward without any difficulty into the computer center, as there's no real fleshy material here.
Excellent.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah. Bahari, you hear the door ahead of you kind of sliding open.
Hello, everyone.
There's power here. You can hear the hum or the thrum of power. You can hear various computery noises kind of going off in the background as well. You're obviously in somewhere that houses some rather sophisticated electronic.
Beep boop.
Yeah, beep boops, lots of all that kind of stuff going on.
I was just wondering, is that hexagonal area, octagonal area just below us, is that central shaft
This
that Zach's been sending most of their life in?
that's the central fuel. That's the fuel storage facility.
Okay.
So you kind of meet up in this kind of area. You know that leading through here, this is kind of like where the computer core is, or where the main terminals and that to access the main computer of La Jolla Station would be.
Okay, well, here's the door.
How's it going?
I
Find
reload
out
the dazer
what
and
we're
hope that...
doing.
The door slides open as you approach. Kind of ominous. It's rather dark inside. The fleshy material covering all the light and most of the walls in this area too. Slightly different color. It's no longer that brownish thing. More again, kind of pinkish, grayish, with the purple mottling that you kind of have seen, or you saw Barber's body. It's more of that, with a bit of brownish stuff kind of thrown in.
Take some samples.
Are you still taking samples?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right. Could you make a strength roll for me, please, Dr. Kimura, right now? Oh. Nice. Cool. Yeah, you kind of gather this stuff up.
I'm gonna throw in a glow stick or a torch or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you snap the glow stick and throw it in, and it kind of illuminates the room partially. So you're not getting true representation of all the colours that are in there. It's kind of this stuff. You can see it glistening slightly on the walls. In this kind of murky light.
It looks almost fresh, doesn't it?
It
I mean, I think given the speed of the onset, I think everything around the station still counts as fresh.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
try
all
to
edible.
keep it. Yeah, while we're looking around, I'm gonna try to keep an eye out for that security box or from the lab one.
And you kind of find that it's kind of cast aside. This box, half covered now with some of this tissue, this
Yeah.
flesh, but it's kind of open, and all of the electronics on the inside have all kind of powered down. It is empty.
If I were a biochip, where would I be?
Inside.
Directly ahead, is where the main terminals are.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. To have a nosy and see what we're dealing with.
Well, we came here for something.
We did. But there's coming here for something and actually dealing with something that are two different things.
I have got most confidence and faith in you.
I think that's more not really reassuring.
No.
You're gonna have to tear away some of this, the soft furnishings, if you like.
Ew.
To get through this door.
Yeah. I had to have a word with someone about the drapes.
Yeah, and you kind of pull them away. They're kind of like a heavy, kind of fleshy mass that you kind of pull away from the door before it allows it to open.
Yeah.
And kind of in beyond that, there's like there's like a window, like a blister cupola thing that kind of looking out, and you can see the stars. You can see the gas giant Pi Orionis 2 looming large in ahead of you. And it kind of shines this kind of ghostly pale light through the window that lights up this room and makes everything in it look kind of a ghostly pallor. And inside, there is more of the pinkish grey kind of mass that seems to have just kind of covered all the terminals. And it seems to be almost inserting itself at various points into the machinery, the electronics that are here. And you suddenly have an idea as to why it needed the biochips.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it can talk to the computer. So it's in the computer. Yeah. So the distress signal might not actually be gone.
No.
Well, it's
But
funny
we
you should
mean
mention the
with
distress
this thing
signal.
yeah, but the thing here is we can either fry the electronics here or we can try and cut it out.
And as you're thinking about that, Zach, momentarily, something that perhaps you hadn't considered. You suddenly have this little flashback to Comtech Brent as she was sat in front of the computer terminal. And you suddenly think of the DSCV Roebuck for some reason, as it's on its approach. And all the computer screens and everything that's on the DSCV Roebuck.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh shit!
Ding!
And you're broadcasting a signal right now. You're blasting it out.
Oh no!
Well, one problem at a time.
We need to stop the signal.
I mean, that's what we're trying to do here.
No, we need to stop all the signals.
Com
I mean,
center,
we are in
fortunately, is
communications.
just down the corridor.
It might
Okay, do
be
you want to get
too
started on
late.
that? I'll start cutting this stuff out of the console, the terminal.
Well, maybe we could just fry the terminal
Yeah, if you know
so it
how.
doesn't have access.
Okay, next room on the left.
So,
Try this, and then we get moving.
what are you going to do in this room? What's the plan?
I mean, it'll probably take forever to try and cut out all the little tendrils and things. So I was thinking if we could just do something to burn out the console with like either a power surge or something, or an electrical charge or something like that, just to nuke it, and then that at least stops it interfacing. And then we
Okay,
can go sort out the communications thing.
sure. So if anybody has any cool ideas as to how that might be done,
So, is it covering literally the whole thing, or is it just like the
which
screen?
inside the electronics, if you like, if you can imagine, yeah, like it's created its like own interface with the various different aspects of the computer system, and it's kind of plugged into these various different places in inside and outside the computer. So,
Is there a
um,
fire alarm sensor or something along those lines?
ooh,
I mean, we're in a computer core, so there'll be lots of heavy power cables around as well, or powering the
yeah,
whole thing.
yeah, yeah. I'm going to say yes to both of those things because apparently that's what GMs do.
Sometimes.
If you set shoot a flame towards that sensor, it will set off the fire alarm, fire suppression system. That may damage it.
Well, yeah, because it'll be CO2, won't
Yes.
it? For electrical fires.
Buckley,
I,
you
Ah,
smoke, right?
I'm just gonna stand back here while you get the flame unit out because, yeah.
yeah.
Just in case, of course, just in case.
Well, if we get some of this cabling out to like expose it to the console as well, we could provide quite a lot of fireworks for when the fire suppression kicks in and causes some nice conductivity.
Right. So let's figure out how we're going to do this. So we're setting off the fire alarm or the fire suppression system in this room.
Yeah.
That's the deal, right? Okay.
Plus,
And
if
then
we expose some of the circuits, like when the stuff comes in, it can potentially bridge the gap, like acting almost like a fuse, so we have time to get out.
okay.
So like
Um,
essentially like the stuff pooling around the power cables to the
right.
console. So that then it creates an electric charge and it'll basically nuke the console. And we'll have time to get out rather than just immediately everything just going to hell.
Okay. Then this is going to require some technical expertise, I believe.
If only we had an engineer
If
and a
only we
scientist.
had an engineer. Now Kimura is stepped away. He's kind of standing outside of that room right now. So it's down to you, Jensen.
Don't
Yay.
die.
So I'm gonna fiddle with some doohickeys and burn stuff.
Yep. Let's see what we can do.
Damn. Yes.
Okay. So you managed to trigger this stuff. I mean, are you setting a timer or something like that?
Well, the plan is I'm gonna try and get some wires to try and short them to create the smoke.
Yep.
But just enough that it will actually catch a sensor, but far enough away that we can actually get out the room.
Cool. All right. That's great. So you set about that. That's going to take a few minutes. Are you what's Bahari doing while she's doing this?
I'll keep an eye on the corridor.
You're stepping
And get ready
outside the room as well.
Yeah, to get ready to make a move to the next room, the comms station.
Okay. So you No, you don't, Jensen. No, not yet. Not yet. You're busy at work doing that. That's going to take you a little bit of time.
Okay.
And Kimura and Bahari have stepped out into the corridor while that's kicking off. And that's when this door, you hear it open.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
No, you're in front. Morally questionable, always have to go first.
They've
Sorry,
left you
Jensen.
behind, Jensen.
Where's this comm center we need to go to? Just so I know where we're supposed to be backing away to.
Right, where you are heading.
We're heading in the right direction. Okay.
Yeah.
We left
So-
this door's open, isn't it? Yes, this door's open.
It's a pity there's not a side cut through this corridor here.
So,
Because I'd be
Jensen,
tempted to screw Kimura to distract the whatever.
Jensen, you are feverishly working away, using all of your concentration to do the task. That
No,
you
I
are
wouldn't
attempting to
leave
do.
Jensen. I wouldn't leave Jensen to die. So I'll
What-
be
what's-
outside.
Okay, so you've stepped outside the room. You've heard the door ahead,
Yeah.
kind of open. Kimura, what's Kimura up to, Dr. Kimura?
I'm kind of filming, waiting
Okay.
for the thing to strike, and looking behind me every now and again just to make sure there's nothing coming behind me.
Did you look up
Right.
No, not yet. I'm not worried about looking up.
though?
They're going to kill you before they come after me.
I mean, if we're all dead, it doesn't really matter who died first.
This is the fuel cell, isn't it? You said.
There are some, fuel storage.
Fuel storage, yes. If we want to blow things up.
there. That's one way of doing it. It might not be as effective as maybe setting off the fusion reactor, but
Where's the fusion reactor?
that's right down. You've got to go further down
Oh.
for that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
but at least
that's
this will
actually
blow
a
out this
climb.
part of the station, though.
Yeah. So,
Are there any escape pods on this level?
no.
Ah.
You know what? There's no fucking escape pods on this station, mate. It's not that easy.
Yeah, it's a space
Um,
station,
it's
not a
just no
It was
cruise.
just like a really bad design. It was like a really old bad design where nobody thought anybody would need lifeboats. Fuck off. What do you need them for? So, Bahari, you see this thing charge around the corner. Another one of these huge spider-like creatures. And it stops momentarily. You see all the hairs twitch. And then it barrels towards you.
Uh-oh.
Could I like Matador dive out of the way through the doors and then let it go after Kimura?
You can. All I'd need from you is like an agility. To see whether that happens. Oh no!
Unless I could add security somehow. Like
Oops.
like diving out of the way of an oncoming bullet kind of nonsense. Because that would turn into a success, I would imagine.
No, it definitely would. And to be honest, that would have been a partial success because it didn't read that right. So I'm gonna say you've dived out the way. You kind of dive through the doorway towards where Jensen is kind
Yeah.
of waiting or working away. You dive through that doorway, and it kind of catches you a glancing blow.
Yeah.
As you kind of dive through, doing a single point of damage there.
Ouch.
And Dr. Kimura, as you've got your camera out filming this thing, you see something charging towards you like a freight train. As this thing leaps into the corridor, you see it behind. You just dive out of the way and maybe get caught as this thing comes through as it pile drives into you.
I would love it if it's
Me.
one of those points where he glances over his shoulder, looks back, and it's suddenly right in front of him.
I was thinking of the old Oh shit! What are you doing?
I'm trying to move.
Okay, then make an agility roll. You would.
This is gonna work, honest.
I know.
I mean, I would
it'll
love
be
it if you
fine.
dodged it and
It'll
it
be
ran
fine.
into the communications thing and blew it up.
Right. This thing piles smack straight into. It's going to do. It's not going to take too much damage. Take a point of damage if you would. Take a point off your strength, your current strength, which is the white box.
Okay. No.
As you kind of have the wind knocked out, as this thing piles into you, and then you see right in front of you the kind of this thing's face, for a better word of it. All these kind of holes with these hairs, and they all kind of twitch wildly in front of you, as it kind of obviously senses your presence. Jensen, you are currently working away trying to get this stuff going. You've managed to trigger get these wires to start smoking, and the smoke starts kind of pouring up into the air, and momentarily you hear like some alert going off about the fire alarm. You've got a few minutes or a few seconds, not minutes. You have a few seconds to get through that door before it shuts.
Jensen, we need to move. I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully, you would have given yourself more of a fuse.
Yeah, well, look, I just haven't moved my token. I would have been in the top room, so I would have set it up in the second room and then.
Yeah, there's one of them things outside. I'll try and buy you some time, but we're probably going to have to try and. I don't know. We may just have to blow the station because it's between us and the communications booth. We can get the. I mean, if you can remote patch the Roanoke, you could pull it in closer. We could blow them together.
I mean, there's probably is another way through.
Is that
if you wanted to, that would be a viable route if you wanted to take it. It might take a bit longer, because you might have to cut through some of this stuff to get through. But it certainly could be doable.
Let's book it while it's distracted.
Okay, are you shutting the door behind you then? This one.
Wouldn't it shut on its own?
Yeah, it just depends how quickly you want it to go, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, of course it's going to shut on its own.
Because it opened automatically for us.
It's the future.
I mean, it opened for us, so I'd be surprised if it just never closed.
I'm thinking because there's goo and all that kind of shit attached to it, but no, it's going to shut by itself.
Yeah, let's just book it straight down. Let's book it to the long way around.
Okay.
Just as fast as we can. Just ignore everything else.
Dr. Kimura, this thing is pretty much sitting on top of you. It's kind of at least 3 times the size of an well, I say the weight of a human being.
They're planning on killing you.
Is that what you're saying to it?
Yes.
Oh my god!
I need to sense and see if there's
if it had ears, it would need feeling pins to tell where someone is.
Sure, okay. And perhaps it's kind of at that point then. You're aware there's another figure. There's another thing here in the room with you. It seems to be kind of looking. It's a human shape thing, and it's kind of looking down at this thing as it's kind of leaning down on you. This thing, and the big spider thing is almost kind of caressing your face with one of its hands.
Well, this adventure took a turn.
And
Dr. Papa, this is not necessary.
HR.
It's funny you should say that because you hear a voice. Why are you fighting it?
Because I'm not ready for it yet. They're trying to kill you.
Quite a lot for them to kill.
Oh, I think they can do it, and you think they can do it too.
I mean, there's 2 people at least think we can do it.
There's something kind of steps around into your eye line, and you see there's like a person. He's kind of standing there now. You recognize him as Dr. Lewis Barber.
This is why I came down to see you, Dr. Barber. This is why I had to come to the computer area.
Well, unfortunately, it's out of my hands now.
True.
But you should just give up right now. They don't mean any harm. They're just
They don't
trying to
understand.
grow.
I mean, he's
Yes.
buying us a lot of time.
Question is, what are you gonna do now?
I need to observe. I need to see everything.
No, there's no time for that.
There's always time. Time to understand. Time to see the future. Time to see the next step. The next
No.
evolution.
We don't have time.
Why don't you have time?
Your companions, they're trying to stop the spread.
Then stop them. You're wasting time now with me. They're the ones that you need to stop, not me.
Keep talking. We're almost
Yeah.
finished.
So you kind of, Jensen, Bahari, you make your way through into the comms room.
Yeah.
You can see this massive kind of array that's all kind of laid out, all of these computer terminals, all this equipment. At the far end of the room, you see the kind of the main broadcast
Yeah.
terminal. At the moment, it seems to be broadcasting the quarantine thing. You see that blasting out.
Does not actually change the signal by the looks of things. Or
It
Or we don't
hasn't
know
yet.
yet.
No. It's across the other side of the room. Are you going to go for it?
Yes.
yeah.
Cool. So that's when this thing kind of detaches itself from you, Kimura, and kind of moves very, very quickly around here to kind of make its way through to the comm center. You know, that's where it's heading. And the door swings open. Whether you observe it or not, I'm not sure, but you kind of see this kind of fleshy kind of curtain kind of almost opens up, pulls away as this thing approaches, and the door just kind of opens as it kind of steps through. And that's when you see it, Bahari and Jensen, you see this thing as it kind of enters the room.
Yeah.
And it once again leaps towards you.
Yeah. I'll try to hit it with the dazer. Try and
Sure.
slow it down. Jensen, you need to tell the transport that the station's lost and needs to be destroyed.
Okay.
I
I'll
don't think
just
they'll be able to get us off.
Okay, I'll just run for a terminal. Try and
Okay.
Yeah.
get sorted.
So both of you make agility rolls. Let's have that.
Okay. No.
Oof.
Right. So this thing jumps straight onto you, Bahari. Jensen, you kind of stop momentarily as you see this thing jump onto Bahari before taking your sprint, so you don't quite make it to the terminal. Bahari, let's have a strength roll from you. You can add your security to it if you wish.
Yes. Oh man, just hanging on by a thread here.
You say that.
Bro.
Right, and these limbs kind of come out and they grab a hold, and you, as you kind of go to stop it, and you kind of locked. All these limbs kind of grab
Yeah.
a hold of your various arms and pushing against this thing as it kind of tries to bear down upon you. One of the arms is kind of reaching for your helmet as you're doing
Yeah.
this, and you're kind of trying to keep it away.
Yeah.
Jensen,
Yeah. Jensen, hurry.
you're still sprinting for the terminal, but you've kind of been, as this thing stops and grabs a hold of Bahari, you kind of are frozen momentarily before you make your run. Yeah, what's Dr. Kimura doing?
Right, are there any airlocks on this level?
Kind of likely. It's going to be some distance away. Here, maybe right down the bottom.
Okay. Yes. In that case, if there was, say, an airlock wherever,
Yeah.
I'm going to head towards it, leaving all the doors open.
Okay.
And if there is an airlock on one side that I can actually vent the atmosphere out of the passageway while going through another doorway to survive,
Okay.
I'm going to vent the atmosphere out of this section.
Barber is following you as you're making your way through the station. He's like,
Barber's
you
following
hear-
me.
"Oh yeah," and he
All right.
says, "What do you think you're going to achieve?"
I'm trying to get out of here. They're crazy.
You realize you can't survive without a spacesuit, right?
Yes, exactly. That's the plan. None of us are going to survive.
Well, that's not true. Look at me.
I did tests on you, and you won't survive the cold vacuum of space.
Why do you want to kill everything?
This is not the evolution that we want. Evolution takes time, not sudden transformations.
Who makes that decision?
Life. Life finds a way, but not this quickly.
Or maybe it does now.
I fear not.
Bahari, you are currently in melee with this thing, if you like. It's
Yeah.
kind of trying to tear off your helmet at the moment. What do you want to do?
I mean, I would try to I don't know, either push it back or try and get my dazer at an angle where I can shoot it point blank.
Okay, so I think to push it back, I mean, you probably need to push it back to be able to get you to your dazer, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was trying to do.
So-
I was pulling my dazer when it was charging.
Yeah.
So I wanted to try and shoot it from across the room, but it got too close.
Okay, well, tell you what then. You've got your dazer in your hand. If you wanted to use it. Unfortunately, you are holding on, or this thing is holding on to you.
Yeah, no, that's the problem. I was trying to get to an angle where I can at least aim. So it'd be really more a strength thing to try and grapple it, I guess.
Okay, well let's do an opposed strength thing. See whether you can push this thing away.
Nope.
Well, you don't know.
But I have a sneaky suspicion. How did I got so? Oh, you must have rolled really badly the first time around. Jesus.
Right. So, in this moment, as you're kind of pushing this thing away, you manage to push this thing away from you, but it takes your helmet with it.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of, you hear the tearing of your suit as this helmet kind of comes away, but your arm is free. You can take a shot next round. Jansen, make an agility roll.
Oh no.
Right, you've reached the terminal. What are you doing? What's the plan?
I think the main plan right now is just to turn it off. Turn the
Yep. So you're just going to basically just want to hit the button to switch off the comms system. Effectively.
Yeah, but I wanna try and get a message out, even if it's just singular message
Okay.
to say just stay away.
You're just saying stay away, and that's going to be the last transmission from La Jolla Station when you hit the
Yeah, essentially, it's going to be stay away, we're corrupt, or contaminated, destroy. It's just
Cool.
something along those lines of like, just don't come near us, stay away.
Fine.
No, because there were a storage ship, was it? Would they be able to destroy us?
They're a cargo ship that's
Yeah.
on the way. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, if they had enough speed and enough cargo, they could probably just use it as like a mass driver to
I mean, that's true.
just flood the station.
So you kind of quickly start sending this message, and you're well aware behind you hear like a tearing sound. As you kind of glance back, you see Bahari's kind of helmet ripped off. As this thing kind of is looming over him. He's got a dazer in his hand though, so everything's cool, right?
Oh no.
And Kimura, as you're making your way through the station, and Barber is just behind you, just walking casually behind you. And he says, "You think you've got the menu?"
More than likely. I think we've all been infected.
How do you know this isn't what they want?
Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I guess we're going to have to see.
What are you so afraid of?
Afraid? I'm not afraid. I'm just trying to understand. Why are you so afraid? Why are you following me? Why are you trying to stop me? I've seen what cold does, vacuum does to you.
Because you want to kill them. Why would you be opening or leaving all the doors open? Heading towards the airlock.
Why don't you turn around and close the doors? Oh, you can't.
And why do you think that is?
Because you're in my head, probably.
He smiles.
Hence why we need to do this.
If only the thing attacking me was in my head.
Yeah, Bahari, where are you? You are currently under this thing. What's the deal? What are you planning? What's your planning?
I'm shooting
gonna
it.
shoot?
I'm gonna try to
Do it.
stun it. I'm trying to buy Jensen as much time as I can, provided they
Yep.
stop crawling towards the console and do something.
Yep.
Get on with it.
Oh no, you see Jensen's at the console and you can hear him shout something into
Yeah, I
it.
could.
But time is of the essence.
Oh, come on. I've been roll 20. Like everything for the last 6 rolls has been terrible.
The Dazer kind of grazes this thing, and you see it kind of snap back one of its kind of limbs. It kind of lets go of you momentarily.
Should I roll the damage, or is it just
Yeah.
3?
Ooh. And yeah, you can see it kind of withdraw slightly. It releases. It's kind of released. It has your helmet in one of its many hands.
I'll be taking that back. Thank you very much.
Not that it's much use now.
Well, I mean, it still helps the vacuum of space problem.
Maybe. So you've shot it. It's going to return. It's going to retaliate.
Dodge, duck, dive, and dud.
Oh no. Okay. It slams into you once more. As this occurs, and you're going to take a point of damage, point of strength.
Yeah, that takes my strength down to 0 with the episode.
Okay, that's cool. And it kind of clutches at you. Actually, it's surprisingly gentle as it kind of touches the side of your face with two of these kind of hands, and you kind of feel like it's looking down on you. And that's it. It just kind of holds you there momentarily. Jensen,
Yes.
you've thrown your message out across the airwaves. You look round, you see Bahari is now kind of being held by this thing. It looks quite gentle, almost like it's kind of lifting him up. Two of the hands kind of are holding his head or his face, kind of cradling it almost.
Doing it.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull some wires out the comms so they can't do anything and just try and see if there's another way around.
Okay. There is another door. This, if you wish to make your escape.
Yeah. I'm just gonna try and get out.
Right. Okay. It's going to take you a while. You got to slice through the flesh, and as you do that, the door slides open, and you rush out into the corridor. Where are you heading?
I have no idea. I think the first thought is going back to the fuel cells.
Yeah, I've mistaken that, haven't I? That's not actually a good place to go. That's the vacuum. So you can rush past them while it's dealing with Bahari. You can rush past.
But yeah.
Okay, so you can make your way across the back the way you came towards this door, or yeah, that one. Wish to get out
Yeah,
of
I'll
here.
just go back the way we came then.
Okay, do so. You kind of you kind of catch a glimpse of Bahari. I mean, Bahari, you see Jensen rush past.
Yeah.
And he looks back at you as he sees you kind of being suspended there by this thing. What's kind of going through Bahari's mind at this point, and what's going through Zach's mind?
Just
I think like his thing, his thing is to get like Jensen to safety.
Yeah,
So like I don't know, like if he's about to die anyway, I would do the thing of just like using his taser for like one last like just discharging the whole thing and killing them
yeah,
both. If
yeah.
that's an
I mean,
option.
Jansen is away from the creature. You think
Yeah.
he might at least make it out of this room? What happens after that?
Who knows?
You don't know. This thing seems kind of concentrating on you this moment in.
Yeah.
Zach,
That's what I was thinking about. Yeah.
yeah, you're
If
kind
I
of
could
looking back.
discharge the
And
taser, kill us both, and then
yeah,
be safe.
it's almost like that moment where Bahari just looks at you, I suppose, and just kind of nods.
yeah.
Yeah. Run.
And you sprint for the exit, I guess.
Yeah.
Right, cool. Dr. Kimura, you kind of have made your way. I've moved everyone. I'll delete it. Um, here and Kimura here. And Barbara is kind of walking along beside you, like just having a casual conversation almost. Anything you want to ask him?
Why did you do this to yourself?
He smiles and says, "It was an accident."
Ah, mad scientist accidenting, yes.
Well, not quite. After McNary fired me, he asked me to destroy all my samples. I couldn't allow that to happen, could I? I injected myself with them. Figured I'd get off the station when the Roebuck arrived. Extract them from my blood and start all over again. Unfortunately, and he kind of laughs, they had other ideas.
Ah, I see, yes. Yes. Oh, you've blown it now, haven't you?
You don't need to do this.
Why?
You'd be committing genocide.
The human race has been committing genocide for hundreds of years.
That's
This
no
is not
excuse.
the first, and it won't be the last. For the greater good, they call it, I think. For the greater good of the rest of them. In the hope that their small minds may grow from it.
And you believe that?
It's irrelevant what I believe. I don't want to end up like some of the others in a pile of mushy poop all over the floor. If I'm going to go down, and I will go down, I'm sure, then there must be for some reason. Maybe they'll name a school after me. Kamari High School, could be something fantastic, wonderful.
I doubt that very much.
Well, we'll have to see. But you're holding me up, and I need to get going. We need to flush you lot into space. Cold, dark vacuum. Took a sample of your body, and when it got exposed to vacuum, it tried to fight, but then it just withered and died.
He stops and says, "They're my children, you know. They don't mean any harm. They're just exploring like we did."
Well, a parent should be a better parent. You teach them better. You failed.
Touche. And you're kind of standing now in front of the airlock by this point.
So, do I do this? Do I kill them all? Or do we find a way where you stop them?
The question is, Dr. Kimura, can you kill them all?
Possibly not. But I won't be a pile of goop on the floor. Will I? I go into vacuum. I know what vacuum does to me. Oh, moment of fear and pain, experience, and then death. We all accept that in this place, in this harshness of space, that we can die. Many people have done so before. So, do I push the button and flush this level out? Taking everyone here with it.
I don't control them, you know.
Ah, you are a bad parent indeed. You are a bad parent indeed. Last chance, my friend. Last chance. You choose.
And he's not there anymore. And
Do it. Do
yeah,
it.
there's a
Do it.
sudden. You feel like this sudden blast of this rush of air from behind you, and you are catapulted out into space. Jensen,
Yeah.
you are there's suddenly a million alarms going off. That you can see the lights flashing underneath this tissue, and you can hear these klaxons that are kind of muffled now, and you're aware of You're aware of like a tugging, almost. As I mean, you've experienced this before. You know that somewhere somebody's decided to vent at least part of the station.
Uh, yeah.
Where are you heading?
Oh, can I see? Can I see through the doors? Are they all just scooped up?
Not all of them. No, the ones that you've come through are already obviously clear. As you kind of leave this area, for example, um, that's clear. Leaving Bihari behind. You know the fuel storage areas are around here.
Yeah.
And you came through this door, which is clear. Also, it's open. And maybe that's where you're feeling this strong tug, which is becoming stronger.
I think yeah, if I feel the tug and I know what the claxons are, then I would straight up make the assumption that somewhere on this level the airlock is done.
Yep, compromised.
But the point of where I am, it's not that strong.
It's pretty strong. It's pretty strong.
No, I mean like it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
pulling me out yet.
No, I mean you're starting to see kind of debris kind of pulling away towards that area behind you. So you know bits of paper and all that are now flying past you. It's like a really, really strong wind that is getting stronger.
Okay. I think what I would do is I'll utilize that by going back and opening the door for the communication center and just leave it open
Okay.
and see if I can utilize that and then try and I don't know, just maybe zip down the corridor to the bottom if it's sealed off.
So yeah, if you want to if you can indicate whereabouts it is you want to head, you want to open this door, and then you want to head somewhere.
Yeah, I want to open that one and then maybe see if I can get down through this way to find a way up.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, sure. Bahari, you're kind of being held by this thing. It doesn't feel unpleasant. You don't feel any pain. It just seems to be kind of holding you. But you probably know what's happening.
Yeah.
You've seen Jensen run past you, and now you're feeling like a tugging, and you can see bits of paper, paper cups, and that kind of suddenly flying away towards the door. I mean, you have no strength. You can't fight the thing at this moment in time.
Yeah.
What's
but
the
what
last thing?
if it
What's the last thing that goes through Bahari's mind?
or he's just hoping that he bought Jensen enough time to get away. I mean, I was kind of tempted to go for the Hail Mary play that if the vacuum suddenly pulls the thing back a bit to this, just like grab the helmet and just chuck it back on, but it's too late for that anyway.
It wouldn't help anyway. It's actually torn it off, so it wouldn't protect you.
Yeah, I know.
Case. But if you want to make a strength roll, make a strength roll anyway if you like, and try and do that. So it's kind of a half-hearted.
I mean, I think he's at +0, so like, you can't.
You kind of grab a hold of this thing and you go to pull it, and this thing, it's almost like it knows what you're trying to do, and the helmet kind of comes back and it kind of sticks it back over your head, And you probably pass out. Jensen,
Yeah.
you make it through this door, cut away the flesh. The door opens, jump, and the door kind of slides shut behind you and seals. The fuel tanks are standing tall in front of you, these large, imposing structures.
Yeah. I think what I want to try and do is like this center cavity.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah, you
that
can walk through. Yeah, you can walk through. This is like a tunnel here.
yeah? I want to try and get into the center cavity, and I'm just gonna try and roll up.
Yep, you can do that without any difficulty whatsoever. It's designed for that.
I'm just gonna want to make sure because obviously if it's a tall fuel cell, I want to make sure that it's literally blowing up at every single level it can do.
Okay.
Uh, I don't know how
Yeah,
I'll do
I
that.
mean, you could probably destroy the entire station from here if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think at this point it's just gonna be destroy everything.
Okay. Yeah. So let's have a roll from you. An education plus engineering role, I think, is appropriate.
Okay.
Yeah. So your intention is to somehow ignite the fuel tanks. Is that the plan?
Yeah.
And you sit at the console and you type in a few commands that will cause like some kind of short somewhere in the electronics that will cause the station to, the fuel tanks to ignite. Obviously, it takes a bit of work. I mean, this is not something that people want to happen normally. So you sit there, you program away. And in a few moments, you're kind of sitting there in front of the terminal, waiting to hit enter.
Yeah. I will attempt to do it and see what happens. Say a prayer or whatever.
Yeah. You're pretty much vaporized instantly when the tanks go up. The entire station begins to fall apart. There's this massive explosion right down at the base of it that kind of ripples all the way up through the station. Each deck suddenly exploding and throwing debris out, like all the way out into space, each deck simultaneously. No, well, not simultaneously, one at a time, as the tank erupts and eventually the top part of the station just completely obliterates with a shower of debris and fire. And La Jolla Station is no more.
Hey, go boo. Oh my god.
Our closing scene, Captain Wyatt is sitting in front of the comm station on the DSCV Roebuck. And he's watching as the message changes from the quarantine message, frantic, stay away, don't come any closer, blah, blah, blah. The screen flickers slightly and flashes momentarily. But a few seconds later, he's just looking at the screen and watches as a faint light from the viewport suddenly illuminate around the planet Pi Orionis 2. And that's where we leave it.
Wow. Oh my god.
So yeah, thank you very much, everybody, for playing. That was great. You were amazing, by the way. All of you were absolutely fantastic, and Nina as well. Sorry you couldn't join us for the last couple of episodes, but you were great too. Yeah, thanks everybody for playing.
It's fun. It's fun.
So
TPK.
well, yeah, it was kind of inevitable, really.
A story
You
dramatic
took too
one.
much joy
A
out of
dramatic
it.
story one.
No, that is cool.
Yeah. So thank you very much for playing, everybody. And thanks for everybody that came along and watched. That was very kind of you. And I guess we'll see you again another time, right?
Yeah, we will see you all on Friday for Carbon.
Carbon.
Yeah. Because it's
Brilliant.
not this week you start, you see, Call of Cthulhu, is it?
Not this week.
No, it's the week after.
September the
So
8th.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see you all on Friday. It is a bank holiday for some of us tomorrow.
Yeah.
Barbecue and party day. Yay!
Hey.
But for some people, they have to go to work. Sorry, guys.
Fine,
Yeah.
it's all Mark's fault.
It's all
Yeah, I'm
Mark's
sorry about
fault.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm your boss.
Yeah, I make you go to work.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, then that was really good. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Don't forget to give Commander Strain a follow. Can shout him out because he does stream every now and again when he's not building things in the garden and gardening and going on hollybobs and stuff like that. So yeah, give him a follow. Thank you, Lloyd. Thank you, Minara.
Yeah, thank you, Lloyd, for the overlays and all that kind of stuff. They were fantastic, man. That was
Yeah.
brilliant. Thank you very much.
And yeah, and thank you to the lovely.
Nobody heard you when you said that.
So
That
to
was
the lovely Mark, thank you so much.
Yeah, she's self-censoring on compliments.
I know.
You are amazing. So thank you. If you've not followed the IMT, please follow the IMT. Go to the YouTube page, join our Discord. Oh, and I think we have Twitter as well. So I think it should all be in the below bit. That was wrong. If you look below the screen, there's some information somewhere. Yeah, okay, we're going now. Lloyd, we better cut it because, yeah.
Music.
right.
We did some music from Scott Buckley this evening, which
Oh.
is absolutely fantastic. Go to scottbuckley.com.au. His music is absolutely fantastic, and he just lets people use it for free, which
Hey,
is
yay,
awesome.
good guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, everybody.